That didn't last long. I did try to go to bed. Let me get my chair and I'll explain. So here's the deal. No more BS. Let's get down to business. We got some more stuff to talk about. Now, if I talk too fast, they're gonna say, "Oh, you sound kind of manic, Nick." If I talk too slow, they're gonna keep telling me I'm retarded. So I'll try to find that happy medium, right? Happy, happy, happy. Look, I don't know what's going on, but I had full intention to get a good night's sleep like I always do for the last 50 months, 50 years. And I'm tired, so I don't know how long this is going to last, but I'm going to get started. Because the truth, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. He that the Son sets free is free indeed. Now, yeah, you might want to get a cup of coffee because this is going to be another long one. And no, we're not talking about Kenny the trucker from Pal Talk and his buddy, the little midget guy. Not sure what he does, but he got a mouth on him. What's his name? Billy Bob 77. Preacher Billy Bob 7. Y'all might want to figure out what them two are doing. Preacher Billy Bob 777. That's the only nickname I know I've ever seen him under. However, that Kenny the trucker, supposedly Houston Saint, supposedly his dad was a some law enforcement officer, and apparently he claims he did time in the federal pen down there, and he claims to be a Satanist. Or first he was a Christian and he was singing, and then all of a sudden he was a Satanist, and supposedly he drives around in a truck with his girlfriend and his dog. I don't know. Like I said, top 10 most vilest chatters of all time. Oh yeah, he's on the list. Him and Billy Bob are fighting for number 1 and 2 on my list. I'd be watching them. I'd be figuring out, hey, what are you two doing? Where you at? I got an APB on you. Oh yeah, I'm watching you like a hawk. Both of you. Look, hey, you know, you remember I was on ChristianChat.com. Let's see, I'm 44 years old. So I'm thinking this has got to go back to what? I've been here for 11. I was at we're talking 10, 15, almost, I'll bet you, it started in New Hope after we moved kitty corner to the police station, right? By the thrift store. One of the first original thrift stores. So, I don't know, the thrift store in New Hope, Minnesota. Mm-hmm. So I lived on 36 in Winnetka with Tom Hokanen and Jerry Hokanen, his brother. Well, I didn't live, well, Tommy left. Remember when Tom left? You know, Pete was living with us. He started putting tattoos, listening to Ozzy Osbourne. I don't know. He was up at they had a remember back in the day up there by where Kmart used to be, they had an arcade. I guess that's where all his trouble started. And then I smoked the first cigarette. I cussed my mom. They almost turned me into Jacob Wetterling. No, well, I smoked my first pot all in like a week. They almost turned me into Jacob Wetterling, remember? I mean, it was like when it rains, it pours. You know, all them sayings, they seem to be true, folks. Kids, stay in school. Hey, look, so I want to get more specific because I told this story on ChristianChat.com. To who I told it to? Oh, I mean, I've got so many things to clarify because they've got me on paper with so much BS and they're trying to make it baloney. I just got to go ahead and tell everything. And today is Saturday. I don't know how far I'm going to make it. I got a bunch of stuff here written down. But the latest is, I know it's cold. Remember, if a white guy with a beard, a big, thick, hairy man beard, just south of Canada tells you it's cold, yeah, you don't gotta be like Sarah Palin and them guys up there in Alaska to figure out it's cold. Yeah, whatever happened to those guys? Last I heard, they were having a house party or something, and the cops came or something, and because it's Sarah Palin, nobody got any charges, but it got pretty rowdy. And what's his name might have been there. And now they got divorced. And I'm thinking, Sarah Palin, she went to like if those two can't stay together, who's gonna make it? Sad. And I'm not ripping on nobody. We all got our problems. But I'm gonna tell you how it is. I'll report, you decide. I'll tell you the truth. And yeah, okay, you're gonna be like, all right, you're kind of a little bit of a loser, didn't do a whole lot. But dang, all that happened to you, boy. Yeah, boys in the hood. Compton, man. We're going to LA, but we ain't doing $500 an hour. I ain't going to Brad Pitt don't I ain't going to work for You think I'm going around Brad Pitt? No. Never again. Look, why I'm hearing noises, okay, look. You remember I told you I literally had like well the first hey, you ever heard of Kinkada? What the hell's a Kinkada? Sound kind of like a cricket or something. Hey, all of a sudden, oh, did I mention all of a sudden my tubes, all my pipes are blocked. I got to call out Roto-Rooter, and these two guys look like they're from the Secret Service. I don't know. All of a sudden, everybody seemed to be from Spring Lake Park. I don't know what's going on. They just smelled a little too nice and looked a little too nice and took a little too much time to be working for Roto-Rooter, but hey, that's just me. I'll report, you decide. And now I'm hearing these funny noises in my walls, and I'm wondering, I mean, is it like, is there a goat in there, or is it, remember, Pelosi's talking about goats, so I'm saying, do we got a goat in the house, like a wild goat that's loose or something? Maybe somebody abandoned the property. We need to check, we need to do a welfare check on the goat, or I mean, what's going on here? Because first I had all my pipes, and I just had them cleaned. I had Roto-Rooter out here a couple of years ago. Okay, they sent the pipes. Then all of a sudden I get this Kinkada. Y'all know what look? Do a little research. It's pretty weird. I don't know. It's kind of like a grasshopper. Look, it all started back on, I told you, IRC. I have no idea other than Jennifer Aniston and a whole bunch of power brokers and who knows else. The King of England, Prince Andrews, I don't even know. 007, 006, who you, I have no idea. Organic Apple, Sonny, Chuck Wagon, Cancel, Undercover Nerd, I got no idea. 5-star generals, Supreme Court justices, I can't be sure. I got some pretty good ideas based on the way they talked, but it's neither here nor there. Pretty much irrelevant to what I'm trying to explain, so doesn't matter. Look, I talked to a lot of people. That started back when I was 18, right? Okay. But the real rub here that I want to focus is Christian Chat. ChristianChat.com. RoboOp. Right? Who is RoboOp? We don't know. For explanation purposes, at least if we're not talking legally here, let's pray to God that don't ever happen. Because we just want to live a quiet life, work with our hands, stop arguing with people so they don't want to punch you in your nose, get half the kingdom, and go fishing. Not duck hunting, but fishing. You can go duck hunting all you. I want to go fishing. Listen. So I'm gonna think, because I guess they say we've been here almost 11. We were in New Hope at trade winds for what? 5, 6, 7 years. I'm gonna roughly say. I'm gonna say 20 years ago. It started on ChristianChat.com. Yeah, probably somewhere in my mid-20s. Okay. Remember, I used to be able to get. I know it's hard to tell with the wooden nickel and the beard and stuff, and now I'm kind of old, grandpa guy almost, maybe. Hey, huh. Believe it or not, remember I had a couple of them friends, cheapskate and all that. I used to get by my good looks a little bit. Yeah, I didn't have them secret rocks in my pockets like old Bubba, or I don't know what old Anderson was doing, posting up and I don't know how some of that couple of them guys, man. It's like they had some secret potion or some secret. I don't know what they were doing, but I never did figure it out. But like you said, I mean, I had a few girl friends. Most of them were just the ones I named were friends, right? But so I'm on ChristianChat.com, right? And back then it's pretty busy. There's a lot of people, and let's just say that I don't know. Again, you could be talking to anybody, and most of the time they're trying to hide their identity because they want to talk to people without them talking to them for who they are, and they just want friends that just want to chat and not necessarily because of how much money or who they are or what they do or anything. They just want to talk to people and have normal lives. That's why they go there. Okay. So this is your first premier destination other than your Yahoo chat and your IRC, and maybe like really your first video. Okay. Remember the lashes I told you my doggy got? I'm talking gashes. Okay, yeah, I got a buzzer and I used to shave my dog. Sure. And the small dogs, I got to make some coffee. I think I can go, I got to get a little sleep. And I do have work to do, but this is more important because it literally, I mean, I started it. I might as well just do the full biography and get it over with. And this is very important because weird stuff keeps happening. And I'm pretty sure they're not training me to get to go deep undercover in the CIA and like send me over to Afghanistan. I'm pretty sure we can rule that one out. Okay. So next thing is if we don't have any goats, in the neighborhood with girls that look like Miss Universe and guys that could be in GQ and they're sleeping in some bunkhouse with some goats and they got undercover cameras and they're watching people. I don't know. They're like, what are they? You tell me. I have no idea. There's a lot of weird crap going on. Cicadas. And I obviously have to be careful because some of this stuff is clearly designed to make you look. And it's very simple, especially if they already got a few things on paper and they've got enough people that don't like you and you already created some videos where your people are kind of going, what's wrong with you, dude? So I understand. You understand. I'll report. You decide. Crazy stuff. My dog, I'm not kidding you. I remember. I scratched her ear. She had, all of a sudden, I mean, she like somebody beat my dog. I'm talking gashes. Now, was that Kenny the trucker? And he's got all kind, I don't know. They both him and Billy Bob Seven. I mean, they threat between him, those two, the most. They said they were going to get together, have some beers, and like in the Bible where they swore not to eat until they destroyed the enemy. That's what they did. They made a pact in Carl's room, and of course, at the time, I'm thinking, I don't know who they are. That maybe they went to prison. Maybe one of them's in their mom's basement eating Cheetos, smoking pot, drinking video games. I don't know. Don't really care. Ain't too worried about it because my face ain't on the internet. And I'm using a VPN, so you got to be in a lettered agency to find me. And then you got to be a wild you got to be a a wild turkey to be willing to release that information and dox me. So I'm feeling, as long as I don't threaten anybody and like they're doing to me, and as long as I'm not sick and vile in the head like them, I'm probably all right. I'm just debating, swearing once in a while, nothing like them from a Christian point of view. But I even heard the woman preacher one time say, "Y'all figure out who the women preachers is. There's quite a few. Remember, I used to get the old one hitters going and listen to Joyce Myers, you know. But I heard a woman preacher say one time, Paul, remember that guy? He wrote the new like 99%. You ain't got new test. Yeah, there's no good news without Paul. You know that guy that said, "Hey, it's better for you to be single." And I'm saying, yeah, good luck with that. I made it 18 months. Uh, and then you're like, man, I ain't seen any naked ladies for 18 months, and you're like, not only do I want naked ladies, but I want them to feed me salad too, and I want a bunch of it. Yeah. So good luck with that, Paul. Oh, but if you're not married, that just means you can focus more on the kingdom of God and the thing. And I'm like, yeah, try finding someone that's not married to tell me that, okay? Thank you. I'll try. Let me decide. Listen, Kincaid's, I need to make some coffee. Now look, I know this kind of looks like a program or something, a program, what do they call it? But I'm pretty sure listen and thank God. And let's pray first. Father God, we thank you. We don't know why you have us awake. We're never awake at this time, Lord. We ask that you direct our thoughts, and we thank you for the solid internet connection. We thank you for running computers and heat. It's very cold out, Lord. We thank you for our basic necessities being met and being able to watch the news, and we thank you for our health and the food and the sustenance, Lord, and the coffee and the drinks and to be able to try and keep doing things for your kingdom, Father God, and we're thankful that we're not in a jail institution or dead. And we ask that you continue to direct us in your will, Father God, that ultimately whatever action or anything that comes out of my mouth, that it would be for the greater good of you and your kingdom, Father. Whatever that is, even in the my little pea brain, my little pinhead, my little world, my little cosmic bozo, which everybody has been telling me for so long that I pretty much believe them, Lord, but that I know you have a purpose for my life, and that we need to keep fighting the good fight, and we ask for help with these videos and to keep these safe and secure and get them in to the right hands and the right eyes, as there's many hours. It would be overwhelming for some people, and that you just let the blood of Jesus be covered over these, and that in Jesus' name. And I could pray all night, and I may have to go back to bed here pretty. But I'm gonna tell you that the thing that because I didn't realize that there's something else on paper that I didn't realize until recently. I had no idea from something from the dreams, and so that would, even though it's absolutely innocent, didn't do anything to hurt anybody or put anybody in danger or compromise anything, except myself, and nearly got in some pretty hot water. And now then this other, so this it's been, but I can explain. Trust me, I can explain everything. And I'm giving you reasons, not excuses. Although in many cases they're pretty good. They're pretty darn good excuses. But hey, And for the sake of respect, I'm going to do my best to not reveal. I said names about but for legality terms, just so people are aware of what's going on, but yet maybe they're like, okay, well, we don't need to, like, hopefully if I leave names out and details where people can really identify what I'm talking about, they'll get the gist of it and understand what I did and what was going on, and it'll make sense, but yet not compromise anybody that may be doing, I don't know. Okay, so let's try that, because again, my intention was never to be like, look at me, or hey people from my past, or any girls, or nothing other than the fact to demonstrate to show my character. And hopefully, I took a statistics class, so I know the laws of probability. There's risk involved in doing what I did, and there's most certainly some people, how many I wish I should have been a cowboy. I should have been an actuary. Yeah, I had a guy tell me that one. You want to make some money? Yeah, you got to send a lot of rockets to the moon. But I'm guessing there's probably going to be a few, if they went like, because back in the day, remember when I was in Bremerton, and the Navy guy was doing interviews, initial, like, if they were doing you for some clearance thing, they would literally go talk to every single one of those people that I said, literally, and probably for hours, to decide if they were going to give you clearance in the United States government, right? And so there's probably at least one or two that really didn't like me, and I didn't know it, but I couldn't, and they may, for whatever reason, like I said, they've gone through their own life. They never liked me. They're just malicious intent. The devil. People are mean. Hey, it's very possible somebody might say something, but it wouldn't be true, because what I told you is 100% true. But what has started to happen is very bizarre. I'm not, like I said, I'm not sure if there's a goat in my kitchen walls, or I don't know. This started about a week, and yeah, you said, well, it's cold, and so it's like that noise outside the deck. When the cold air and that starts, the wood starts. I should be stopping pretty soon, but it's enough that it's distracting me. It's new. I don't like it. I don't know why it's there, because I've been here for 10 years and never one time does it sound like there's a goat in my wall. Okay, just saying. Okay, now that's been going on for 2 weeks. I thought maybe it's a pipe. It's the wire behind the fridge. It's very bizarre. It's annoying too. I'm not scared of it. It's just want to make you aware of it. Who do you call, a plumber? Because these are the types of things I've found in through life now, that if you mention these things, for example, I will admit a mistake. Okay, just so you know, see how fair and balanced that I do make mistakes, not very often, but it has happened a time or two, and I'm going to admit to one. Okay. Now you got to keep it. And I don't want to wake up my roommate. So please, let's be mindful and respectful. And if the people in the audience, if you could just text me if you have a question, go ahead. I'll try to pay attention. I'm just kidding. How come there isn't that option? Now that would be perfect. Because if it's actually live, why don't I have an option for to see who my viewers are? Why would so I'm really questioning whether this is actually live, because wouldn't that be some basic common sense? That would be a wonderful feature to see your viewers have their nicknames and people to be able to watch in real time and interact and communicate. It wouldn't take much more bandwidth, right? It'd be kind of like Pal Talk, but way, way better. And then people could ask questions. What am I missing here? I must have to click somewhere to get that. Otherwise, it's really, really expensive, or they have a really, really good reason why they don't do it. Because, like I said, I mean, I'm not a real smart guy, but like that just seems like it'd be obvious. So and remember how I got all excited when I turned 40? Remember how I told you every keystroke? Remember how I told you they'd have to shut down the NSA, right? Because of all they're not just half weirdos. They're like really like a bunch of really, 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 really weirdos that have access to all your liquid screens and your cameras and your microphones. And you remember those guys that quit working at Honeywell for $200,000 a year to go stuff microphones and secret cameras for the CIA in every trash bin in every building there ever was in the United States? Remember that? So, just kidding. Just kidding. So, a while back, and remember, there's a key point here. See, this is really good for like a psychiatrist. If you just show him those first videos, look at he thinks he's Toby Keith, and then he's Trey from Boys in the Hood. I mean, this guy's got about multiple personalities. Then you know, so without the full context, I thought that's why I'm doing this. What's the difference? Let's see let's see if the Bible's true. It says, the truth, you shall know the truth, and the truth shall set you free. And if who the Son sets free is free indeed. Okay? Not the half truth, but the full truth. And I guess nothing but the truth. I will say this. You know what this almost feels like? Look, can I say this? I don't know if I can. I don't know if I want. It might ruin it. Again, I want to maintain, because I respect, even though I probably might not shouldn't. I still want to show respect. I want to offer people the benefit of the doubt until there's absolutely no possibility to do that. And so I don't want to start accusing people other than those filthy animals, those filthy heathens from Carl's room on Pal Talk. Yeah. I mean, that Jeremy, Cal, Katie, which I will, she's like, she must be the mastermind, because you'll never hear a swear word. Well, I've heard her a couple times. But you would think she was a nun. But she is friends with Adolia and Larson, and they're all very, very, believe me, if the devil had any agents on this planet, they're on his team. Okay? I guarantee, trust me. Oh, Amarillo Slim tells you, hey, it's going to be good. He says, I don't know about good, but he said, hey, he gave me all my points. And so I got to get these videos, get as much done. I got to get a few hours of sleep and get some of these videos, get the main points done. And I need to get some work done for this man, whether he sends a half a rocket, 100, I don't care. All I know is he's giving me the benefit of the doubt, and he's saying, all right, buddy, I help you out. Now make it up to me. That's my kind of guy. I'm having a rough time. You're gonna say, we just got to get you reorganized here, camper. We don't have to fire you. I fire almost everybody, but I think you got potential, son. So I'm gonna give you a punch this week. Hey, not only that, but I'm gonna give you a little extra time. I want to see what you can do for me. I'm saying thank you, Mr. Amarillo Slim. I'm on it, but I gotta say this stuff first. And I'm gonna need some sleep pretty quick. But normally I can. I don't know what's going on, but the last time the last time I remember something like this was when I got all Samson on you. And what's his name? Somebody was trying to give me a trim at the barber shop, and I'm going, no, I gotta write this love letter. No, because I had this dream, And remember, almost nobody knows the Bible, at the Mile High Club. Nah, I mean, sure, you got your robo-ops, and you got your Dutches, and you got your Sarah KS, and your Chuck Wagons, and your cancels, and you got your bada bing bing bing, and you got your who else? Huh? Who else? Come on, pre-trib guy, just another Christian. Oh yeah, they know like the Bible inside and out. These are the ones who really, except for pre-trib guy, I'm pretty sure, but even pre-trib guy says he doesn't. He just likes his Marlboros, and then when he goes fishing, he sips on his beer. That's what he's. One or two. I don't know. You tell me. Above my pay grade. Don't really care, but point is, I know a lot about the Bible in general. Okay, so in terms of guys that know enough, that have been listening to the experts, the experts. Donald Trump's got one of them guys. It's called Barron. They call him the expert. Yeah. Look, here's the deal. I don't know how big it is, but this is the deal. The last time I can remember not being able to sleep or actually, I didn't even, is when if you go look at the paperwork, you follow my links in my YouTube. If you go to my about page, you will see, and in fact, it's only about 75% edited. I never did quite, I got enough in there where I was like, hey, we got to publish or perish. But 25% of that still needs to be edited, and, sentence structure, etc., spelling, repeated words and stuff. I'm aware of that. I'm not completely retarded. I'm only half weirdo. Okay? Just saying. But the last time I can remember feeling this fire in my belly was when I had to write that letter, from Song of Psalms. So there's something going on here, and I got to go ahead and just say it. All right? Regardless of what you think of me, regardless of what the NSA is accusing me of, because they're all like Jeffrey Dahmer weirdos. Okay, I'm just saying. Too big to fail. No, not Jeffrey Dahmer, but they say they got some pretty good weirdos in there. Yeah, I'm just saying. Way more weird than me. Okay? So here's where we're at. And Lord, we pray for completion. We pray for safety. We summon a holy host of angels to be round about us as protection, like a holy host of angels that the devil and his filthy demon heathens cannot penetrate. We ask that to be around us. perpetually, and you protect and anoint these computer systems and my computer internet, and you allow these videos to be completed in their entirety in Jesus' name, amen. In Jesus Christ's name, amen. So remember I said I was gonna admit to a mistake. I don't have to I might have had to do it one other time in my life, but you remember, see, I was all excited and I turned 40, I started praying, and remember that thing about the Bible, like all the dreams and the visions, and you're like, you was like Mr. Like I practically other than Ryan Faulkner, like I invented cool. I'm like the CEO of fun and like the executive of cool. And remember, there was only like two other guys more cool than me. Remember, so I was pretty chill. I wasn't this obsessive kind of obsessing over girls. In fact, I had to beat them off with baseball bats. Remember, I didn't have to get all touchy feely like old Sleepy Joe. Okay, remember that? Yeah. All right. So what? You're really getting a. So yeah, when I turned 40, remember they had there's significance there. SWAT team. I'm 40. I go, hey, I'm serving God. Like, okay, maybe I was serving God like 99%. Now I'm like, okay, we at 100, right? So I start praying. I'm thinking I'm here, and I'll get into that later. But I heard this other noise, and because they had just roofed the house. Oh, and that's the other thing. They just love to show up whenever they feel like it, whether it's with a jackhammer and the SWAT team. Don't tell me about it. Wake me up. Usually, they used to notify you at least a few days in advance so you could prepare, because some people have jobs, and so we could reorganize our sleep so we don't have to go out and have an argument and get disorderly conduct. But no, they were trying to do that. So that's why they did it. And they've been keep doing it, and I just don't deserve it, and I'm sick of it. And so I hear this noise, and I swear something's leaking. And I take my cell phone, I record the sound. I'm laying in my bed, it's keeping me up. I've been here for years, I've never heard it. So obviously, what happened is what they did is they changed it's one of the, I don't know, there's several up there, whether it's the chimney, it's some sort of exhaust to, I'm guessing, I don't know, there's a whole bunch of them. I was a roofer. I worked, what was his name? Wendell. Yeah, remember that? He had a really close buddy, and he had a really nice looking little gal. Remember how I told you, oh yeah, you think oh, hey, go get to step into half the kingdom, boy. I dare you. Huh? You think you're tough? Oh yeah. Well, she might not be able to bench press much, but she'll have you in the fetal position, sniffling like a little baby within a few minutes if she really want to. Oh yeah, she's the Punisher. Believe that, homie. Yeah, you're lying if you don't believe, if you ain't ever experienced it. Well, you just ain't. I guess you maybe ain't called one beef curtains before or something. Hey, listen. Here's what's up. So I I'm telling you, Barry, don't come around me, dude. Yeah, and I bet you Barry, I bet he's a real big old fat goon now. Probably 500 pounds. Now he got bacon grease dripping from his eyeballs. He's probably drooling bacon grease dripping down his wooden nickel. He's dude, just stay away from me. Cause I'm real irritated too, right? maybe someday, hey, if you're ever out in California, I'll take you surfing. All right. Listen. So I hear this, right? I've been here for 5 years or 6, 7 years, and all never heard this noise, and all of a sudden it's keeping me up. Imagine that. And I got this one guy. He's running a crew of Hispanics that do not speak English. One guy there, and look, I don't mind, man. I don't mind that. It's a little different up way up here. Usually that's down in places like that. But I'm thinking, you got these cutthroat Republicans with, I guess Nancy Pelosi says they got goats or something. I got to check. I mean, I need to see some surveillance. But look, they're taking all your jobs. Or no, they're not. Strike that from the record. The jobs are being taken, and they don't want to help the people very much. And that's why you got to go talk to Never Again up there in New York. If you're in real big trouble, you might want to go that way. The good fishing is that way, but hey, if they got goats, and you might want to go see Never Again up there and play video games and get some salad if you're lucky. But what the thing is, so I never. Oh, so you got this guy? That's cool. But don't why if you're a Republican and you're gonna don't tell no if you're gonna let your good old boy network, yeah, huh? Remember the old colonial white guys they're burning the buildings down for? If you're gonna let one guy come in here with bacon grease dripping down his face, you know, and a big old floppy belly, and he's got 5 guys from Mexico that are illegal and they don't speak English, and you're not in San Diego. You're like just south of Canada. Hey, don't be telling people to pull up their bootstraps and get a job. You hear me? Yeah. Send those guys away and put the other guys to work that you got that don't have jobs, and you're telling them to get a job. First, you got to take care of them and say, hey, no, those guys are illegal. Nothing against immigration, nothing against hardworking guys, but it's hypocritical. Okay, so they come in. I can't talk to them. He's down there. I can't. He's so distracted with his bacon grease dripping out of his ears. I can hardly talk to. And he's woke me up. Nobody's notified me. Oh, but we got to do your roof. Sorry, pal. And I've got a little experience. This is obviously before the SWAT team. But I realized, yeah, I'm like, why didn't you notify me? No, you're waking me up again. I wasn't planning on having you banging on my roof for 24 hours a day for the next 3 days. I hadn't planned for that. Call me crazy, it would have been nice to know. I'm a little irritated. Yep. Ha ha! And so I'm going, hey, yeah, I'm probably not going to win this one. I mean, it's kind of a big operation. Mama said pick and choose my battles. So at that, I'm like, yeah, we had a little talk. But so I hear for the next 3 days, I'm not getting any sleep, and I'm like, only in America. And I'm thinking, I need some more coffee. You say, boy, can't you just get to the point? No. You see what with my record, and like I said, some of it, but hey, If you was at a friend's house that used to be a waitress at your mom's restaurant that you owned for 20 years and you knew her for 15, and you've been over to her house 1,000 times after just hanging out and for some reason you're young and dumb and full of what? And you're like, hey, can I borrow $10? And she says no, and you're like, okay, see you later. And there's like a jar of change on the table, and you're like, well, see you later. I'll see you up at work. I'm gonna grab this change here. I just, okay, technically, yeah, all right, whatever. Call it what you want, but it ain't fifth degree domestic. It's like maybe theft, right? But you mostly did it out of spite, right? You cut your nose to spot off your face, but you certainly didn't lay a finger on anybody. You didn't hurt anybody. You didn't break any windows. You didn't threaten nobody. You've known them for 20 years. Your mom knows them, and you were trying to get a pack of cigarettes, and they were kind of being snotty because they were in a bad mood. And you said, okay, there's like this half a cup of quarters on the table, and I'll see you later, and I'll pay you later up at work. And you get mad because like I won't sleep with you, right? I don't want to have. We're just friends because I know like 20 other people around here, and I'm just trying to borrow $10, and then all of a sudden it's a fifth degree domestic, and you're doing 30 days in Ramsey County. Yeah, when you get enough of that kind of bull butter, you're like, yeah, I gotta explain this like I'm dissecting a frog. Because otherwise, all it takes is a couple of polar bears with bacon grease dripping out of their eyeballs to make some BS up. And next thing you know, who knows where you at? 6 feet in a hole, maybe prison. Who knows? They do what they want with you. I mean, you and they Tory. Why are you up in there? Why you decided to go hang out with a bunch of? Well, you remember, hey, I got that gap in the last. He was full-blooded polar bear. I'm part polar bear. I was thinking, hey, remember that? I'm thinking, that I'm figuring, hey, I saw them buildings burning. I saw that about 10 years ago. I'm thinking, hey, maybe I ought to move a little bit north. But then you got old Never Again there, as playing the video game saying, hey, you better off down there, boy. Hey, you're better off trying to stay away from them guys and just don't let them burn up. Don't go still around instead of them polar bears, because look what they're doing to you. Right? Well, you live, you learn anyway. So that we got the better by back, don't tell me about it. But I'm smart enough at this point. I've been in enough trouble. I'm getting old. I'm dealing with a polar bear, and he's got 5 guys that don't speak English, and he's got bacon grease dripping from his ears, and he's kind of like, why aren't you working anyways? And I'm like, none of your business. I'm like, why do you got 5 illegal guys? Oh, what are you talking about? My guys that allow me to sit around with bacon grease dripping out of my eyeballs? How dare you? I'm a polar bear. This is colonial America, remember? I'm in the good old boy network. Keep talking, boy. You see what's going to happen when you get in an argument with Ricky Boy about a month from now. You see, boy, keep talking. Yeah, and the bacon grease is dripping down the side of it. Now it's all down in his shirt by now. And so I realized I was not going to win that one real quick. And so I dealt with that one. But he put in some new, whatever, exhaust something. Yeah. And given the experience, without getting accused of being paranoid, I'm thinking, oh, that's awful convenient. I've never heard that noise, and it's keeping me awake. And you're a roofing guy. You probably know what people are saying about certain products, what bugs them. And I mean, yeah. You're a polar bear with great bacon grease dripping out your eyes. I'm pretty sure you know what you're doing, right? So I'm thinking, well, you get the idea. So it kind of started there. And so basically, I call him up. I thought it was a leak because remember, I'm not a roofer, but except I did roof for remember, I was friends with everybody for 5 minutes. I did roof for 5 minutes one time with Wendell from Circle Pines. Oh, and why is Bad Boy always going to the Pines? I'm starting to wonder if it's something. Does he own that store? Maybe Bad Boy owns a few Domino's and he just doesn't want people to know. So he lies and so he says, I'm a regional manager or something, when actually he's got a pizza empire and he owns the Pines and some other one, like down on White Bear Avenue or something. What was the one of the last things he said? He was going to bring pink boxing gloves down to Arcade, the Domino's down there. Strange character. I really like that guy. You know, we go way. Remember, his name was Brett or Brent or something mysterious. Supposedly a Vikings fan. He's got a few pictures of weird. I don't know. Said he likes to be mysterious. Every time he come on video, it's the same. Like I'm wondering if it's even him. It's the same. It almost could be like a feed. It don't matter. But I know this guy from 20 years ago. We talked on ChristianChat.com, and he got chased away by Robo. Well, I don't know why he left. But the story is, yeah, you know, Robo is always asking for money, and then as soon as somebody gives money, well, you got clout, and if you don't like this person, well, hey, you know the story. So, in other words, if you ain't got deep pockets and somebody don't like you, you gone. It won't be very long. I'll talk about that later. But so I, I did work on roofs, and I figured, well, we was up there pretty high, and I started, you know, I was all right. And, hey, I'm a sports guy, right? I'm pretty, you know, I wasn't no Langer. I never made it. Never made. I'm pretty sure if I'd had, like I said, if I'd have had my daddy around to be like, hey, son, hey, you see this Alexis Hughes girl here? Yeah, she's the one at the snack bar. I need you to settle down, son, and you need to be on your best behavior. Do not pick your nose and sit in the corner and eat your boogers, and absolutely no sticking any paper clips in the like. You remember Gordy? Hey, or the Kerry with Roger. Hey, boy. This was like that. I'm serious. My dad, I was good enough. Like I said, I mean, I'm Cup Stack Champion of the Year. I'm dodgeball. Only GQ Rush can beat me pretty much. A couple guys beat me, yeah, but in terms of consistent, like I'm like a world class dodgeball player. I'm pretty decent at basketball. Just don't have the height as though what's his name. If I'd have had the height, and my daddy would have said, "Hey, watch that knee, boy." I mean, I could have played college somewhere. You get the idea. I was pretty nimble, but yeah, I was a little nervous up with them rubs. I'm gonna be honest. And it's hot and it's slippery, and they got that tar paper. And if you don't just hit it right, and sometimes you hit it, I mean, you're kind of slipping around, and you're up there. And when two pretty good looking guys that maybe I went to school, they like show up and they wanted to sell me insurance the first day, and I'm like, well, why would I need that? And they're like, well, in case you fall. And I'm like, Well, I'm only up here 50,000 feet. Why would how could I fall, right? And I'm thinking, yeah, it was one of those, I'm probably in the wrong business here. So I think that was pretty much my last day. I'm like, I don't feel like buying insurance. And if they think I'm going to fall, yeah, I don't feel like I'm out of here. So I did try it. Uh, Wendell, and what's his name? Oh, he lived over there by, what was it, Brandon, the Bellamy's, the Bellamy brothers. You want to talk about a band that played at Pavlitsky's, the Bellamy's. Man, they were world famous. I don't know how they were all related, but well, and so the story goes that uh, Kenny the trucker came all the way up from Texas over him with his semi up in St. Cloud somewhere. Cal and Secret Doctrine sent, like I said, nobody ever really tells me the truth. Okay, so point is, I don't really know what's going on, but I know I can't sleep. This guy pissed me off. He's banging on my roof for 70 minimum of 72 hours. I got work to do. I'm getting no sleep. He didn't notify me. I'm already dealing with this floor. I'm already pissed off. Remember, I've been through 3 vinyl floors, and so because of that, I'm like, my mom's in my ear, and you know, I'm remembering, pick and choose your battle, son. And so I let that one go. I said, Yang, this is nothing but trouble. He's got bacon juice squirting out of his eyeballs. You ain't gonna win this one. And I'm thinking, yeah. Ha ha. And so finally I can't sleep, and I call up, and he comes out and he smells like bacon, and he's rude. Kind of reminds me of Barry Bergman, actually. And so I'm recording. I'm convinced it's a leak. And I finally realized it's just well, he put this flap on here so that I would go insane. Because why else would you do that? Well, because you like bacon juice. You've been doing this for 20 years and you want to piss me off because you've done a really good job already. You want to get me mad out in that street hollering, doing a disorderly conduct so you can charge me with terroristic threats and bring in the SWAT team. But really, it's just a little argument. A few cuss words, but we're both doing the same thing. Nobody's pulling any knives or guns or nothing. We're just chest bumping. That's it. Could only be a conspiracy to go any further than that. So I get on my phone, right? I record. I'm documenting it because I'm freaking out because you get pretty frustrated when you can't. When you're in a pogrom and your mom's won't come, she's done. She's put in all the floors and she's done helping. And she won't come over and visit now because of the floor, because I have to rip up the floor because there's mold. They're already calling me Brother Moldy. And so the only way to even think about living in it is to get the moisture up. So you have to pull up whatever it is. So you don't keep getting wooden nickels. And so I'm convinced. I'm sleep deprivated. I'm frustrated. Not getting any sleep. I'm trying to figure out what that. I'm convinced it's a leak. So they come over and they start crawling around in my roof with the guy that doesn't speak English. And they crawl up, in the attic, and they're like, no, there's no leak. And I'm like, yes, there is. And because it's keeping me awake. And he never told me it was a new flap. Of course, he knew that because he replaced it. He doesn't tell me that. He just lets me keep thinking I'm thinking it's a leak. And because he's got bacon juice squirting out of his ears. Same reason they're burning the buildings down, I'm pretty sure now. So I gotta be less sarcastic and rude, don't I? Because that's gonna upset people, and then they're not gonna listen to my valid, absolute, perfect points and explanations of what's going on. So thank you for that reminder, God. Bottom line, I'm trying to document the water intrusion. I'm trying to argue with them about, because they got these rules in the bylaws that if it's outside, they gotta deal with it. If it's inside, and so yeah, there was a time there where I was a little strange because, well, they were banging on my roof, keeping me awake. I got this new flap thing, and it still does it. I kind of adapted and got used to it, but it does. It's still. It almost sounds like a leak sometimes, but I've decided, yeah, it has to, obviously. I'm telling you, if it's subtle enough, if the wind is just right and it's just it's so soft, it sounds exactly like a drip from a. I'm not kidding. Like, it does not sound like a flapping. And I went up there a couple times, and I had a tape measure, and I was trying to, and I can't find where. I couldn't find exactly. Anyways, it was a nightmare. And so, yeah, there was a time when I called up and I was a little mad at the association and maybe the grounds guy, and I'm like, "There's a leak. There's a leak. There's a leak." Okay, it wasn't a leak. I'm admitting it. I made a mistake. I'm not sure if there's any other mistakes I've made in life, but that was one. But again, think about all the circumstances. I'm already dealing with the water problem. I got some fat guy with bacon juice that seems to be trying to upset me again. And he's not real nice, and he's kind of smug, and he's kind of like the guys like, I've got it. I've got 5 guys here that let me sit around and eat bacon juice all day. Don't you dare say anything about that, because this is my life, and it's pretty good. I don't care about yours, and I don't care that these guys are illegal. I care that I'm paying them. Well, up here they probably get a little more. I would guess you'd have to probably pay them $15 an hour up here because they work like maniacs. 10, some of them. Now, if you paid a union guy, that's 50. Insurance, that's cutting into his bacon juice. But yet, he's fork-tongued, though. He's a good Christian guy, Good Christian guy, goes to church. But you should pull up your bootstraps, son, and get yourself a job. You don't want me to take care of you, do you? I pay taxes on these illegals here. I got a pretty good life, boy. And if you get to keep talking, I like steel, remember? Well, I like steel too, not plexiglass. Yeah, ha, ha. And so I'm saying, look, I ain't gonna win with this. This guy's like straight out of the Dukes of Hazzard, man. He's all like Colonel. He's probably that, that big, what's the big fat guy name? He looks like him, you ain't gonna win, man. You're smart enough you got to back down on that one. So I deal with that, but I did get a little, I'm thinking, I made a few phone calls, and then then the water comes in again. And so I'm thinking, and they're telling me they fixed it. And I'm arguing, I'm going, no, you didn't fix it, because it's the third. They've already dug the holes underneath and cleared the water pan out. And then they regraded something and tried to seal. They're like, oh, it's fixed. And I'm like, no, it's not. There's still moisture. It's not fixed. I remember I'm not Amarillo Slim, but this ain't fixed. I don't need to. It's just like they just kept screwing with me. And so finally it finally rained and I got it on and I got it and I probably said some silly things. I'll admit that. But okay, so I was wrong about the leak and I said some silly things on audio that about the water. I'll give you that. So now where we're at is now that I've been, I'm an honest person because I'll admit when I'm wrong or I'll admit when I'm actually silly and like goofy, but again, not an excuse, but a pretty good reason. I'm dealing with a lot here. Remember, no equity, thinking got a pretty good deal, took a chance, went to, you know, bought a little place. I wasn't here for the closing. Remember, you go, well, gosh, are you retarded? Are you one of these guys? Hey, yeah, you bought that place, Nikki? What were you thinking, Clint? I wasn't here. Remember how they give me, I get 5 different stories? Well, why do you think they didn't allow me to be here? Yeah, ha ha. Hey, but then again, I'm the guy. It took 2 years to figure out that girl, her brother. She might have liked me, even though she smiled at me about 5,000 times and didn't take her eyes off me for like 2 weeks straight. And her brother asked me to go play flag football. And he sends rockets to the moon, and I'm about the dumbest guy there is there. Yeah, still took me a couple of years to figure out, hey, she might like you. Yeah, so I'm that guy that wasn't here for that, and I'm the innocent, nice kid that had a few cool friends. And so now here we're at, and it's like now I got a Kinkada, and now it sounds like I got a goat, I got some kind of baby goat or something in my wall. It's weird. It does sound like there's like a goat kicking. And it's weird. It's like, is it some kind of drone robot? Is it one of those Secret Service spiders again or something? Did they get something in through my walls? Because now we're starting to go, well, you remember you said that was a leak. No, it wasn't a leak. And so I don't know what the hell it is, but it's keeping me awake. And it just started. Okay, it's cold, so we're gonna have to wait a little bit. And if you keep talking like that, oh God, please keep talking like that, Nick. Finally, we've got something we can almost like start to make you look nuts. And if you take it real far, damn, it might even be certifiable, right? That's what these devils in Carl's room are thinking. But I'm tired and I'm frustrated. So here's the real deal. Here's where we're at. The dog, okay, that one's for sure. Okay, look, I'm a groomer, but I didn't like take a knife and cut the back of my dog's back. Somebody did. They hit her with something big time. I know my dog. There's nobody. Look, I was into security at a very young age. Remember, Leslie? I notice everything. I'm not an animal abuser. Contrary to what Bobby might say, I've never abused cats. There was the one time Mike Walker had the cat and he was in the mother-in-law apartment and it stunk and this cat kept like with his razor blade and one time we were over there, and I took the cat and put it in the tub and shut the sliding thing and shut the door so we could smoke some more pot and go on IRC without the cat like clawing and biting and pissing on us. And the cat proceeded to "Rah, rah." And finally we let it outside and we said, okay, you're a barn cat now. Love you. Have a nice life. That's it. I've never abused a cat or an animal in my life. Oh, well, no. A similar thing did happen with a cat from Kevin from Best Painters. Now, he warned me. He said, this is a demon seed cat, Nick. I would not these cats are barn cats. These are wild cats from up in Delbo, Minnesota. And he warned me. Now, I've been up there. Remember, his son died in a snow. That's the story. His son, I can't believe it. I felt so bad, too, because remember, they're like family. And he's got a daughter and he's got that nice wife, and all they do is ride horses and live in Delbo and read the Bible, and he's really nice to me, and he's letting me, he's really he lets me get away with a bunch of stuff the other guys don't, like being late and leaving early. But I would work 20 hours in a row sometimes. Maybe take a longer lunch break once in a while. Little stuff like that. That he didn't let other guys do. So, but we would have Bible studies. And one weekend, he's like, I talked to my kids and stuff. They want you to come up and hang out. And like, but I gotta, I'm hanging out with these people, and we're drinking 18 beers and having one hitters, and I worked 80 hours a week. And I'm like, that sounds really fun. I want to do it, but it's like an hour drive, and it's not that I don't want to do it, but I'm like I'm. Oh, and I went. What did we go? Where did we go with Kevin and Marcus? We went down to Target Center. Who was down there? We talked. Oh, you want to talk about half the kingdom? How did George? That's what I want to know. Hey, remember? Oh, Bubba, you're too cute. You too. Can I tweet in your bed, oh, Bobby? Oh, I love you. How did George get Marcus's sister? Like, I know George is not a bad looking guy, kind of short, hard worker. He ain't that funny. Hey, it's like this. Hey, my wife. When we go and we have our testimony, look, you know what I'm gonna do? It's gonna be like, hey, there's nothing special about my story, right? You've heard it. I'm telling you. Hey, look, you see me? You see this ugly face? You see this hair? This hair? See that? Half the kingdom. You see how pretty she is? That's my wife. And she lets me touch her once in a while. Okay? You got that? If you don't believe, that's all you need to know. If you don't believe in God now, my story ain't gonna help you. Have a nice day. No, I'm just playing. Just joking. Look, George got, I mean, look, so George is there, his wife, their couple of kids. Was George there? I don't know. I can't remember what we were doing. It was some Christian conference. So we did stuff like they did the stuff like that. We did Bible studies. Me and what are you getting at, man? So what am I saying? So, oh yeah. So he's asking me for a couple weekends, and I'm starting to feel guilty because I mean I want to hang out with him, and then I don't know. All of a sudden, like then I heard his son died or something. Like a while later, so snowmobile accident. And I'm like, wow, up and down. What are the odds? There ain't a whole lot of snowmobiles up there, is there? Hit it. I mean, I'm like, dang. I don't know if is that the story? Is that the truth? I don't know. Point is, what's the point? Um, yeah, how George got that? I mean, that's like a God thing. Yeah, I saw George once. I saw him at the Holiday a couple times getting coffee. I saw Marcus at the Home Depot. Said hi to him. I seen I seen George up at the library just before the virus thing. I saw Sonny in the library. Dusty, he was told to get out of Dodge by dawn, so that's why Sonny, she was all alone, I think. He said, "Hey, Dusty, you gotta get out of Dodge. Be out of here by sundown, sir." And then so Sonny come around, see what I'm saying? Ha, something like that. But so here we are, and it's like, you're saying, what are you talking about? I'm saying there's a cicada, there's a goat. I'm about ready to bring my dad in here, fly him in, have him come stay in my kitchen. Uh, look, the cicada was the weirdest thing. So then all of a sudden my pipes are clogged. Just bizarre. I mean, sure, you can't say this is weird stuff, all of it. Man, you got to consider all of it. But why did I bring up Kevin? Because we're working 20 hours a week. He's treating me like family. Why did I say that? I'm tired. Uh, Hang on. I gotta get my coffee. There go that weird noise. You hear that? So unless my refrigerator's going out, unless there's a knock coming from my refrigerator, the back of my refrigerator, it's something in the wall. I don't know what's in that wall other than a water pipe. And it's like just weird, bizarre. I want to record it. It's the type of thing where it's like I would go up and tell Tommy, "Hey, what is this?" And he'll go, "I don't care. Nothing I can do about it. Don't matter." But it's driving me nuts. No, no, I don't care. I'm almost 80. Don't care. Don't leave me. And if you ask him again, then he's like, "Well, I'm leaving." You're like, "Can you help me with this? You live here, and with it, there's this goat. Sounds like a goat kicking the wall or something." And I'm thinking, and he's like, "No, I don't want to deal with it." And so, like, I got to do it on my own. So I'm thinking, it's keeping me up. So I'm here, I'm talking to you. And I'm really tired. I got to go. I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna lay an outline. I'm gonna kind of conclude what I was. Why did I brought up Kevin for? Oh, that's the first. That's literally the first. I must be really tired. I mean, it is 3 in the morning. So my goal, more in detail on the next video. Kind of, I turned 40. I had went through the roof thing. I'm still doing the water on the floor. I get an argument with Rick to bring in the SWAT team. I go through, was it at least 2 years? Piss test, full year of DBT therapy, Shanna Mentefel, therapist, Nystrom and Associates. Every week I'm chilling with her. We're just shooting the breeze. I'm in with what's his name? His dad dies. I forget. I can't think of their. I'm so tired. Every week I'm there. Remember, it's not a good proposition to go to trial with a lawyer that thinks your lifestyle is a crime in progress. It's not a happy prospect. So you're doing whatever you can to avoid bow and arrow and butter knife. Yeah, and they're lying about you. They won't stop. Whether they just don't like you, they think you're an arrogant prick, Peckerwood. You deserve it. I don't know. I'll report. You decide. I'm a little frustrated. Yeah. But the only way to deal with it is to just tell everything. Because, yeah, it's going to make me look like kind of a loser, kind of lame, kind of an underachiever. But you know what? It will vindicate me for anything that anybody's ever really said about or lied about me, or they're claiming that I could do or I might do, or they're worried about me doing. When all I want to do is go get Power Acre One water. I wanted to fix this floor and live here, but that's not going to happen. So now we need one. Well, unless so half the kingdom says, "Hey, we're staying here." I mean, I'm going for 1 acre power water. The fishing's real good that way. Hot, hot, right? We're getting old. We don't want to make any more videos. We don't want no more problems, no more arguments. We want a couple babies, so in about 5, 6 years, I can take the old son outside and we can shoot, you know, we can shoot some pop cans with the 22. Hey, boy, they might start burning them buildings down there. And I'm getting old. I want you to be able to take care of your mama and your sister if I ever have any problem. I die or something, y'all be all right. Let me show you how to deer hunt. Yeah, maybe get a few chickens. Oh, I was in Shank down there, and they had some chickens. Do they still live down there in Lauderdale? Oh, yeah. His wife's a veterinarian. Remember that? Sending rockets to the moon at Michigan's. But I think I'm gonna. Yeah, baby, he wasn't a stay at home wife. He was a very smart stay at home dad. Oh, there was that one time with this is what turned Eisenshank off. Maddie liked me. I mean, we hung out. I think everybody in general, because of all the paint chips and stuff, hyperactivity, that obviously contributed to why I was kind of friends with everybody for 5 minutes. In some cases, other than Kurt Anderson and then they Wilson died for me, saved my life. There were some people that really, really cared for me. Okay, but the point is what? And there's just noises. There's strange noises. I mean, like sometimes I think I'm in the Twilight Zone. It's distracting me at 3 in the morning with no sleep, and there's a goat kicking my wall. I'm pretty sure there's a baby. They stuffed a baby goat in my wall. I'm just kidding. I don't. The only thing I think of it doesn't. But to see the thing is, it doesn't sound like it's coming from. Oh, why was old Eisenschenk? All right, so we were at Majestic Oaks, and yes, I played golf with Tiny Tim Langer. Oh, I did play golf with Langer at least once at, was it Bunker Hills or Majestic Oaks? One of those two. Him, Matt Schneider, I think Swanson, C.J. Simonson, or Steve Swanson. Did I mention him? Whatever happened to him? Is his pet family the Swanson meats that you see those trucks? I don't know. He lived down by the Rum River. I used to go down there all the time with my bike, and we'd get was it CJ? I know it was Steve Swanson, and no, what was the other guy's name? Oh, the little guy, his Steve Swanson's best friend. I can't. Oh, he's gonna hate me. He was always so nice to me. And we'd go down to the Mississippi. What is that place where they'd have all of the dam? Hundreds of times. I went fishing down there with those guys. I mean, hundreds of guys, but a lot of times with those guys. Okay, so one time I did what? You ever see that? You know what this feels like? Okay, remember I'm a Christian, right? And so there's not a whole lot of Christian programming, right? Remember, I don't like the duck hunt. Never ever was interested in duck hunting. Still don't want to duck hunt. But do you remember what was that? You know those guys, and they're in the basement. What's that show? Who are those? They're in that chair, and they're telling their testimony, and they got like, it looks like it could be out of like some room in Afghanistan, and they got the one light above and it's kind of swinging. And what are those guys called? Oh yeah, Duck Dynasty or something like that. Those guys, but it's some spin-off show of those guys, and they're given, you know, the one guy talks about how he got so arrogant when they first started having success that the family actually um instead of inviting him over for, like, they would get together to watch movies, they started ignoring him because he was starting to be such a pompous rear end, I guess. And finally, that's what it took for him to realize that, hey, you didn't really have anything to do with this, and you're riding on our coattails, and you're being a jerk. And now maybe this will wake you up. And he's like, yeah. And so that was kind of his testimony. You remember the white chair? And they got the guys with the beards. What were their names? And so this is what this kind of feels like, actually. I'm like, I'm like in more detail. I'm telling my story. Yeah. But I don't want to go duck hunting. Look, I mean, I'd try, like I said, old big country. He tried. I'd go, but it ain't my first choice. Anyways, point is, so one time I did. It was the first time I think I stole something. And me and Matt were at Majestic Oaks, just outside of Gregory Troy's, that Catholic church, and Eisenschanks. And we went golfing together, and we were hitting golf balls. And I noticed the money. That well, there was nobody attending the. Well, so I think I grabbed it. There wasn't a lot of money, but I grabbed a few dollars from the. I reached around the pop machine or something, and Matt's like, "What are you doing? What are you doing?" I'm like, just like, and the guy comes up. He's like, "What you doing?" And it's pretty embarrassing. They never called the police, but they brought us into the office, and obviously the parents, and they're like, you can't come here for like a couple months or something. And Matt was a little embarrassed about that. I think that was stupid. So I did do that. Uh, but I never burglarized anybody's home. Never smashed any windows or anything. So I guess I thought about that when I thought about Matt and being a stay-at-home dad. But so I did do that one time, but they didn't charge me. And then, yeah, I'm pretty sure that was the last time I hung out with Matt. But he was a good kid, right? And so I guess chemical engineer. Yeah, I was. Pete, his uncle or cousin was starting to live with us, and so he came to live with us because he was having problems, and I guess I kind of started having some problems. Yeah. But again, don't blame any specific people because I guarantee if it wouldn't have been Pete that I smoked a cigarette with, right, it wouldn't have been long. It'd have been either Brandon or it would have been somebody. So I don't blame anybody specifically for anything. I'm just saying. So let's see, Sim, why you saying that? Well, I'm not, I wouldn't make a good housewife, but I might make a good house husband. Probably not a bad gig, with the future being female, if you could get it, right? And so, yes, I am, man. I am getting really. I gotta lay down for a couple hours, I think. So I think the outline for the next one is going to be more focused of what did I do after the argument? Because I explained that in detail, right? That they shouldn't have been here. They shouldn't have done what they did. Couldn't hear them, and they were supposedly on a bullhorn. And I'm sitting in here like hoping that nobody called the police, right? Because I was a little loud. Not any different. He was swearing, I was swearing. I said heads were gonna roll, just like I remember I was watching Ivanka, not Trump, but he was saying heads were gonna roll, so I got that from there. Disorderly, yeah. Come in, tear the walls down for that in America. Hey, might as well move to Iran. Mm. So now I'm like, well, okay, so what happens next? So I turned 40. That was literally, so I went to jail. They let me out. I was 40 years old, so from 41, so basically from 40 to about 41 for a while. It took a couple, it actually took, well, so it took a month or two to get into Nystrom's and get in their DBT program for a spot to open up. And I was so thankful because that's very expensive. A lot of people came and gone. Nobody that I was with did a full year or maybe one or two, but a lot of people because of insurance. So I'm pretty sure they made some exceptions a little bit, and they allowed me to do the full program, and I was there every week. And so I really appreciate that because if I wouldn't have finished that, it was butter knife and bow and arrow. Yeah, it was over. There was no 1 acre power water, probably no half the kingdom, no pop cans, nothing. You done. You ain't making beef jerky, nothing. So I was really grateful to be able to go to there because that was my only way out. Right? There was no way other. You know, you're dealing with the good old boys with bacon juice dripping down their ears. Colonel Sanders, you're not going to win, right? Almost never. So I'm going. I'm like, hey, thank you. How do I get in here? Let me go. Let's do this. It's interesting how you see times change. There's a Cub Foods there. I remember the old New Brighton because I'm from that area, right? And they have a special area bakery where people would sit. You don't see those at every. I've never seen one at any other Cub. It's unique to there. But I remember going in there 10 years ago, and that place, I mean, you couldn't even find a seat. That was like the spot for new retirees and stuff every day. Maybe short. I mean, I went there for a year, and I didn't even go in there or sit in there very often. But once, I mean, it was lucky if there's 2 or 3 people in there. It's like weird how things change. But anyways, so my goal will be, because I'm gonna cut this off at 2 hours and lay down for a little bit again. So I gotta get some sleep. My goal is to explain more in detail about what I was thinking. Remember, I'm 40. I'm not. I haven't been obsessing about it. I haven't had a girlfriend for quite a while, but I'm not obsessing. I'm not trying to interpret dreams or think I'm a prophet or uh, even though the entire Bible, now that I've reviewed it, I mean, the Bible says in the end times, I'll pour out my spirit, dreams and visions. Y'all know that. I've said this. I explained this all in Christian chat, but I never got it on the record. I explained this ad nauseum, but I want this for anybody to really review. And because I don't, yeah, there were some people on Christian chat, but that's it. And they were very rude and they ended up banning me when I was on my best behavior. I have no idea. They asked for my story, and once I told them my story, and I guess I didn't get drunk, naked, or angry, and they couldn't prove me I was crazy, they just banned me again. Here we go again. Bottom line, money. There's always a reason, and everybody's doing something for something, except maybe your mama and half the kingdom. Other than that, everybody's got a reason for something. Look, hey, so you say, well, look, so you're like, yeah, ain't been obsessing But you're starting to think, hey, look at that hair, man. I mean, that used to look a lot nicer. And you got your that Swedish, German, English schnoz keeps getting bigger, and you ain't getting no prettier. I mean, more handsome, and you're not getting any younger. And they brought the SWAT team in for no reason, and now you got to go. This is a good time. This is a good opportunity, I think, Nick, that you get. Hey, you're pretty serious with God. You still read. You've been reading that Bible. You're in and out of Christian chat. You're a pretty good guy. You don't have 20 felonies, and a lawyer that loves your cousin who burglarizes everything he sees and is tweaked out and that he's a nice guy. But this Nick guy, he's kind of a zealot. Again, last time I checked, I wasn't advocating the overthrow of the Roman Empire, and I'm not sure the Roman Empire still exists. I'll have to check with Mr. Ho on that one. Hey, that's and so you say, hey, I need sleep, yo. I got less than 10 minutes. I'm laying down. So you say, well, yeah, okay, so you're not obsessing, you're not going around writing love letters to people that complete strangers that you know of. Could have blacked out, I guess, and wrote, but apparently that there's only like a couple, right? And so, and at this time, I only thought there was one, right? And so my rationale, I will clearly define that any behavior prior to this is only frustration with this floor, the roof, the equity. What am I doing here? I moved up here to be close to mom. Mom's getting more and more isolated and less. Yeah, it's nice to be close to mom, but hey, we were down in New Hope and I saw her more then. And it's like, okay, I'm up here with a bunch of white polar bears with bacon grease that keep lying about me and bringing in the SWAT team. I mean, what's next? Like, I want to get the hell out of here. All right? I'm thinking, well, what's the way out, God? I mean, I'm ready to go play video games with Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez, talk about disbanding the police now play video games and talk about never again or something. I mean, I'm getting sick of this stuff, right? Then I hear Nancy Pelosi and I'm thinking they got a goat in like maybe they put the goat in my wall or something. I don't know. I mean, you don't have to worry about that goat as long as you don't get angry, naked, drunk, or too crazy. The goat, whatever the goat want to do, the goat can do. But I'm just saying. So you're saying, well, what's your thought process? Why would you write a love letter to a stranger? And you say, well, remember that Bible and how everything from the wise men getting the message from God, if they didn't get that, Jesus would have got slaughtered. Remember the road to Damascus? Paul comes in. It's all over. That's basically Old Testament, New Testament. It's full of guys who had dreams and visions, because remember, I don't hear voices. I don't claim that God speaks, certainly not audibly. So anything I get from God comes out of that Bible, maybe an urging, an impression from the Holy Spirit onto my whatever, my brain, okay? I'm not a schizoid. I don't have any severe mental illness. So you're saying, well, why in the world would you do that? Why would you write a love letter to a stranger? And you're thinking, hey, I can explain that, but not right now because I am tired. But you said, well, yeah, you never did that before 40. But so you turn 40 and you think, well, pretty good opportunity. I mean, they got me by the short hairs, right? I mean, hey, bacon grease guy gonna show up. If you don't, you're gonna be squeaky clean now, but at least 1 year. This had nothing to do with alcohol and drugs, and they're taking like hair samples and blood samples every week. You're peeing in a cup, blowing in a thing, and you're going, "Whoa, what did I do?" I mean, did I get another DWI or something I don't know about? Did I get like possession charge? I mean, what are you doing to me here? Hello, and you wonder why I'm a little goofy? Ha ha! You know what I'm saying? Yeah, I'm 40. Like my hair's starting to thin a little bit. I'm getting old. I ain't got half the kingdom, and I'm getting a little lonely. Yeah, it's a little lonely being an only child. Remember, I only got that half sister that kind of likes me. Hey, let me name my daughter. That was pretty cool, man. I'd say that's about the coolest thing ever. And but she did dress me up as a girl, put me in a dress, and painted my face too. Yeah, it's not all my fault. So you're about 40, right? And you're thinking this might be a time to make sure. And this is what really irked me about Dutch. Now, I don't know if he's old Dutch or Dutch from, I don't know who they is. Apparently, Dutch is some guy that almost made it pretty big out in California. And he was in he's got a brother in the CIA or something. And that he was a world class musician, and he did drugs and was on private airplanes back when it was like a big deal. Not everybody and their brother could get on YouTube and tell the world their story, right? So he's pretty proud. He likes to play the harmonica, and he's always ornery because I guess he's got stomach problems, but supposedly hasn't got a daughter or something. He's an ornery dude, like, and he's the kind of guy where you feel it. He's trying to get information from you, and then he uses it against you. That's what it feels like. Only one on there, and I'll be honest, because I'm mad because they banned me again, and I didn't do anything, nothing. Swear to. There's times I did, but that wasn't one of them. Remember, we got double jeopardy. Like. So yeah, I'm frustrated. So I guess he could have been he. I forget the band, but he's always telling people that he could have been in the Rolling Stones or something. I don't know. And he got saved, right? That's his testimony or something. Point is, I know these people, and so I'm like, well, so I tell these guys, right? Oh, dang it. Wish they'd stop that. So I want to explain what the rationale. So I'm like, well, so they would always say, well, you're just doing this because for what you can get, Nick. You're just interested in what you can get from God. And I'm thinking, hello, I'm 40 some years old. I've been serving God on and off, reading my Bible every freaking day. Hardly ever drink. Yeah, sometimes I think about naked ladies still. I'm guilty. And pretty much a decent Christian. And the best you got is the reason why I'm praying now. No, I'm in trouble. And if I screw up, like I'm dead, they're gonna like give me a butter and a bow and arrow for the rest of my life. And my life's over. And so I'm thinking this is a really good time that because I'm lonely. I have not been obsessing about girls, right? I've been trying to allow, the whole don't look for them when you think. I tried to listen to all the just when you least expect it, it'll happen, or during God's timing. Seek ye the kingdom of God first, and all these things, and righteousness, and all these things shall be added unto you. For God your Father in heaven knows what you need even before you ask. For if he will cover the lilies of the field in Solomon's glory, and does he not care much more for you, camper? Well, yes, of course. But we're running out of time, and I ain't getting any younger, and I'm in big hot water again. And again, I don't deserve it. But hey, we trust God. So you say, what? Well, so what? And I say, so here's my mentality. What bet? I mean, I gotta pee in a cup. I don't drink anyways, but I mean, I don't even want to eat. Like I'm going on a diet. I'm perfect, right? Great opportunity because if I'm gonna end up in the chair alone, lucky if maybe I'll still get the power 1 acre power water, but it's gonna be me and Lewis and more books in the rocking chair. I'm thinking, I don't want to be scared with Christian Leitner or taking me 2 years to figure out, hey, maybe that girl, that really cute girl with nice parents, really smart, a really nice brother who was trying to be friendly to me. Yeah, she might have maybe went out and had some dinner probably with you if you'd have just had the balls to ask her. So I'm thinking, you better like be really, really good because you're getting really, really old and ugly and nobody wants to talk to you and they never really liked you anyways. And so you ought to like really get. I mean, and it's a good time because you can't do anything else. And oh, you got to come here every week, twice a week, or we're gonna give you a butter knife for the rest of your life. Remember that? And I'm thinking, yeah, I understand. You understand? Ha ha. And I'm like, well, okay, God. So guess what I'm gonna do, God? I'm getting off all chat because I got the preacher woman telling me, hey, you can't be rude, even if you feel like it. You don't get to be rude because you're Christian, right? Remember that whole turn the other cheek, give them that. Hey, they want your coat, give them that coat too. Are you really a Christian? Well, yes, I am, preacher woman, I swear. So, look, I promise, you know my promises are good, right? Still like naked ladies. Ha, ha! And so I'm thinking, all right, I'm quitting chat. I mean, I don't drink, smoke, or chew, don't go with women that do. I still think about a naked girl every once in a while. Pretty normal. So I'm gonna quit swearing no matter what. So the best way to quit swearing is to not get mad. So the best way to not get mad is get off chat. Done. Pretty sure I quit for like 18 months or whatever. I didn't argue with nobody. And I was off of chat for a while. And they had probably I was probably banned at the time from ChristianChat.com though, but previous because there were times where I would not take it serious, but nobody did because I could never understand people like what's his name? What's that guy's name? Greg? How does look Greg, how does a guy like Greg stay on Christian Chat? He's the most annoying. He's not funny at all. He's either related to RoboOp, he is RoboOp, he's deep covering the CIA, he's a jerk, he swears, he's nasty. He either has clear how that guy he's not he doesn't seem to have that much money. How he possibly stays on Christian chat while other people get banned? It's like, well, Bubba, can I? Oh, come here, little baby. Can I sweep in your bed, little Bubba, please? Oh, I want to sweep with you. Oh, you're so cute. I don't know. I report. You decide. Look, so I'm like, I'm probably, but so I'm getting off. I'm not gonna. I'm not gonna do anything. I'm not gonna backmouth my parents. I mean, I'm gonna make sure for as long as possible. I think I made it 18 months without thinking of a naked lady. Yeah, swear to God. I mean, I swear in Jesus' name. I don't swear at God. And that's weird. If you say that, some Christians, even though they're looking at naked ladies and going to the liquor store every day, they're like, that's you're swearing. You can't say swear to God. I'm thinking, well, I'm just saying, I promise God, I swear to God, I didn't blaspheme God. Never did get that one either. What? You're looking at naked ladies getting drunk, and I can't even swear to God that I'm telling the truth. I don't know. So I say, God, we got to find out. If I'm going to end up alone, we're getting up in the paint. We're, Christian Leitner asked us to come up and shoot some free throws. I don't care how nervous or how red face your face gets and how embarrassed you are because you're such a nice little boy. You're so cute they tried to turn you into Jacob Wetterling. You're so innocent, it took you 2 years to figure out some girl sending rockets to the moon from the University of Minnesota that she might like you, boy, and she got so embarrassed she left the school. You better make sure that you're doing everything you can. So if God, not because of for what I can get from God, old Dutchy pants, but hey, it might be nice to get married like you. And yeah, I don't really want to be like that Paul guy. That's all nice and for you guys, but hey, I still like naked ladies, and I'd like to have one. And that's cool. If you want to sell everything, hate your mom and dad, and you think that's great, you don't want to be distracted by a woman, go ahead. But I'm telling you, it's tough. Hey, I know they say you can't live with them, but look, it's worse living without them. It's just easier to remember that, hey, if she wants to punish you and put you in that fetal position in about 8 seconds, oh, she can, and she will. And if you can remember that and do what the Bible says, and you ain't worried about eating cheese and watching football, the first thing you come home, but you focus on her and love her like God, like Jesus loved us in the church. Well, she's gonna be like, whoa, wow, you love, and she's gonna love you back. And she's not going to go crazy and lock your kids in the closet while she needs to get some sleep while you're running around town having sex with other women, making her absolutely insane. And now the kid's in the closet eating paint chips. And now you're blaming on me telling me to go surfing. No. So you're like, hey, You're like, God, I swear, no, Dutch, I'm not doing this because oh, it's what I can get. It might sound convenient for you to be like, well, I know it's okay, Nikki. It just wasn't God's will. I don't know. I can't stand that guy anymore. I'll be honest. He's rude, and he finds information and then he uses it against you. He's done it to me over and over, and then they finally banned me for no reason. So it wasn't that Dutch. It was I'm an old guy. I'm alone. I'm already, hey, be ye perfect like your Father in heaven. I'm about as perfect. Other than liking it, I'd still like to touch a woman before I die. Other than that, I'm basically perfect most of the time. Imagine that I'm a guy and I might like girls. Oh, yeah, not a housewife. We could talk about the house husband thing. I mean, I really have to eat my pride and stuff, but we could talk about it. I'm open to it. Look, hey, so I'm saying, God, we're gonna do everything we can. There's gonna be no. We're getting up in. We're up on the court now. Come on over here and shoot some free throws up here with the MB with us. Don't be scared. You might not make them, but get up here and shoot, dude. You've done this 1,000 times with me just in the basement right under here. Well, it's just there's nobody even here yet. It's before they get okay. There's a few guys on the court, and the security and there's no fans really yet. Just a few. You got your paparazzi, your camera. Like, what's the big deal, bro? Come on. Well, I'm a bashful little nice little kid. I just feel I don't know, but you know what? I'm getting up there now. That's it. So I'm like, Lord, if I'm gonna end up in the chair alone with reading Lewis and Moore, I want to make sure I leave it all out on the court. So there's no question, right? I'm gonna write same thing. I was gonna write that letter because I'd rather take a chance and screw it up than not do it and wonder the rest of my life. Hey, did you quit swearing? Did you really read your Bible every day? Did you really pray without ceasing? Did you really pray for your enemies? Did you really try at the end of the day to not let your anger go down? Did you eat that pride? And even though you were right, because you're right every freaking time, did you go and say, hey, love you anyways, bro? I see. It's all right. I didn't come up here because I can be right or I can be married. I didn't come up here to remind you how right I am. I just came up to let you know, hey, bro, I love you. Good night. Hope you sleep well. I see you tomorrow. I know it's the 100th time I'm right. I'm always right. Nobody can beat me. I'm one of the greatest debaters of all time, right? I know that, but other people frustrates them. Okay, but you don't make any friends. And God says, hey, don't do that, right? But it's tough because we're even if you don't have a reason, we have an intrinsic, especially when you're an only child, you got lots of time to figure out how to be right. Right? And it just makes you more lonely because, well, you beat everybody in the conversation, so now they're gone, I guess. And so you're like, no, we're not Dutch. It might sound nice for you, and maybe it's like you've been trying to do this to me since I was 25. I'm sick of it. Now I really see it. I tried to give you the benefit of the doubt, but I see your game. You're full of it. I'm not doing this for what I can get from God. I've been serving God on and off to my best of my ability pretty much all my life, sir. This is about, hey, we're aging out here. We're looking for a forever home. Yeah, we're looking for half the kingdom finally. It's been 15 years where we played it cool because we invented cool. We ain't obsessed, but we're like, hey, let's see if this whole vision and hey, maybe God's got something for it. Maybe he don't, but let's make sure. Let's quit swearing. Let's be the best we can be. We ain't joining the army at my age, but we're gonna be the best we can be. We're gonna be the best Christian we can be. And it don't hurt that they got you by the short hairs and they're about to give you a bow and arrow for the rest of your life, and nobody's ever gonna talk to you again, ever. And your life's over. So it's a pretty good. It's convenient. It's pretty good time. You get to demonstrate your ability to be mature and go and do their UAs, give their hair samples, continue to show them for the 5,000th time that you never failed the UA in your life. Well, I think I did one time when I was working for Wendell in the roof. I mean, I could have went and got the Wizinator. I just didn't care. I've never used a Wizinator. Does that thing, the guy? I don't know. Never used a Wizinator or any. So I'm saying, if we're going to end up in a chair alone, let's make sure. Let's make sure that we put ourselves in the best possible position, not to get what we want or what we think we deserve or what we're entitled to because I serve God. But hey, it'd be kind of nice to have half the kingdom and go fishing. And so I'm saying, hey, I'm saying, Lord, help me be the best I can be. Help me put myself in a position to be receptive to any blessings that may come my way. And they're like, well, first it was, so now, not see, you can't please these people. So now Dutch, instead of Dutch accusing me of doing things so for what I can get from God, now he's trying to say to me, oh God, you don't even understand this. It's not about what you do. The blessings come. Remember, it rains on the just and the unjust. I mean, this guy's just got too much time on his hands, or he just hates my guts. Probably hates my guts because he's starting to be like Strand. All right. Robo-op. I mean, that guy, I don't know. I think he'd warn me about somebody, if there was any danger in the subdivision. He'd probably still tell me about it if he could. Just saying. Well, so that's what I'm saying. And so again, this isn't, oh, well, I do this and you do that. I do this and the blessings come. No, I'm just saying, look, I've done everything I basically can, like I said, except for maybe absolutely try to remove any rudeness, smugness. I don't know what else I can do. Make sure I never swear again. What did I do? If anybody talked to me, so not that I didn't do that before, but there may be people that you might not normally talk to, or you might think, hey, you remember me? Yeah, I'm the guy that was posted outside. Yeah, I was one of the cool guys at Cheapskate because I knew, hey, like, why am I talking to you? Yeah, I don't got $1 million in the bank, but remember, my friend is the CEO of Cool. Yeah, But you know what? I'm gonna have conversations with people. I'm just brainstorming. I'm trying to think. Is there anything I can do to be a better Christian? And Dutch would have you think, well, you're just doing that so you can get blessings. And I'm thinking, no, I'm doing that because I'm almost a grandpa and I'm still single. And I'm saying I think I'm a pretty good Christian, but I want to try to be the best Christian. And just in case I'm missing something that maybe there's a chance, because I understand it's not just because of what you do, but maybe I can put myself in a way that that God's will be come to fruition. I don't know. He still thinks he still doesn't understand what I'm saying, or he just accuses me of doing something for selfish motives. I hope you people understand what I'm trying to say. I'm getting a headache. I don't know how else to say it other than how I explained it to them. And I never felt comfortable that they ever felt like I was doing it. The goal is not money, it's not nothing other than having a companion of my wife. The only thing left of doing life with, spending life with, having somebody there that wants to be there, can put up with a guy. Can you imagine? It would have to be God. Can you imagine I have a woman dealing with me like almost 24 hours a day and not going insane? Like it would have to be the Lord, right? Yeah, we agree on that. But the Bible says his people are very peculiar. And I thought, hey, I'll take that to the next level. Don't worry, I got that covered for you. Oh, yeah, y'all. Look, I'm saying basically, okay, I can't say it any other way. I'm going to get dizzy. Okay? I'm just saying, hey, they're trying to give me a felony, right? I'm charged with terroristic threats because I heard Donald Trump say heads are gonna roll, and this guy, I've got 5 floors, and this guy's he's waking me up at 3 in the morning with a jackhammer. Didn't notify me again. Starting to seem like a theme here, huh? On purpose. We finally get him out. You take the bait. He pretends to be scared, does the same thing, and says, oh, well, I can't hear no bullhorn. Next thing you know, you got 500 law enforcement with AK-47s pointed at me with a Bearcat, and I can't even hear you on the horn. Something ain't right here. And now I'm yelling in the street, and it's terroristic threat. Like, I want to swear right now. I want to cuss. I won't. Thinking about it is just makes me mad. That I had to go through something like that for what? Yeah, and you wonder why. Hey, Alexander, hey, call me, girl. Let's talk about that. I'm saying, yeah, we need some police reform. Sick of these guys with bacon juice squirting out their eyeballs, thinking they can do whatever they want to people. But so I'm like already dealing with that, right? I'm thinking, yeah, I better be real careful, real nice to everybody, because if I piss anybody off and they like kick me out of here, my life's over. And so I'm thinking it might be a good time to be nice. And then that maybe if you're nice, hey, let's just make sure. Let's be the best Christian we can be. And if there's any blessings, if half the kingdom anywhere around, well, let's see if we can't live up to our standards. Let's try. Not because what we can get, because we're lonely now. We're getting old. We've been playing it cool for 40 some years, and we're still alone. But we still want a naked lady. Spend life with. Yeah, And so I'm like, we're gonna try really, really, really hard now. And so basically for 18 months, I'm perfect. I mean, I don't even think I thought of a naked lady for 18 months. And if I saw one, I looked the other way and I'd start praying, like Kirk Cameron and Fireproof. I'm thinking. I mean, even if I saw one coming from like 500 yards, I'm like, I don't know who she is. She probably. I'm looking the other way. Any thought comes in my head, I'm like, that ain't half the kingdom. Shame. I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm reading my Bible, praying. I'm going to the thing. I'm eating lunch. I'm talking to anybody that talks to me. I'm not too good for nobody ever. Never was. Still ain't. Never will be. But I'm making sure. Hey, if you say hi, I'm on. How you doing? What you want to talk about? I got lots of time here. Hey, what you want? What's up? Hey, let's talk. All right. So I'm trying. That's was my mentality. And so I started reading the Bible a lot and praying, and I'm going. Well, it seems like half the kingdom, she ain't up in the produce section. Can't find her at the laundromat. Apparently, she's not on Christian chat, right? Because no girls are really. That's the other thing. Like, I'm thinking, look, I've been on IRC, Christian chat. I've seen a few people get married on Christian chat and or heard of it. For 20 something, and I'm thinking, I've had a few girls. There was a cupcake here or there, right? It was some girl from India, but I wasn't really attracted to her. Really nice person. But again, Chad Miner's sister. And that girl, Michelle was her name. Really decent look, normal, decent looking gal. There just wasn't an attraction. There was a couple, there was some other girl from Ukraine. And again, I thought she was cute, but I didn't. I didn't think she was half the kingdom. I didn't think she was my wife. I wasn't attracted to her like that. But she was all over. But other than that, I didn't have any girls really ever. I talked to the Sunny. What was her name? Sunny something was the very first person I talked to. I don't know what she was from Canada, I guess, or that was her cover. Sunny something. and she would talk to. She was older, and I never seen what she looked like, but she was very friendly with me. Apparently, she said she was female. How would you ever know anybody on RSC? And so, right? But I never had any girls be like, "Yo, hey, I'm half the kingdom. Where you at? Let's meet up. Hey, I'm your gal." Right? And so I kind of give up on that, and I'm like, "Hey." So I'm start praying. I'm looking at that Bible, and I'm starting to notice that theme about all the prayers and the road to Damascus and all the dreams and the visions and the end times, and I'm like, I'm praying, "Hey God, where's half the kingdom? Can I have her, please? Pretty, 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 pretty. I'll do anything. I swear I'll do it. I'll go 18 months. I won't even think I'm a naked lady. I swear. I promise I won't do anything wrong, Lord. Please, what do I got to do? I've been waiting forever. I'm bored. I'm tired. I'm old. Getting ugly. I've been the CEO cool long enough. I can't play it cool anymore, Lord. I need her because I'm getting to the point where it don't matter how I comb my hair. I mean, I'm like grandpa now, Lord. Can you do something? Please? I don't want to live the rest of my life alone. Yeah, I mean, I drank beer off and on. I had jobs. Had fun, played, exercised. But now I'm getting old and I'm all alone. And I got no brothers and sisters. I've been all over these internets and never really met anybody that said, "Hey, I'm your gal." And I'm thinking, this is getting lonely. And now they're bringing in SWAT teams on me for really like over, way, way over. Like I didn't deserve that. And they're about to ruin my life and give me a felony and put me on a probation where if they want to set me up on a UA, I could go to prison. I'm thinking, dang, I want to cuss again right now, but I won't. And I'm thinking, man, this life, and it's all since I moved up to Washington County, where I'm thinking, they're probably going to start burning some buildings down. And those are the guys that like to go hunting. Remember, I'm thinking, mom's up there. I might be okay. I know the polar bears with the bacon juice. Oh, Colonel Sanders, they don't really like me because they think I'm a housewife and not a house husband. But if I'm cool and kind of stay out of their way and off their radar, I'll be all right. Apparently that didn't work. So now I'm in some hot water, right? So I'm thinking, Lord, how do I get help? What do you want me to do? I'm not saying like it's about what I do. Is there anything you need me to do? Thy will be done. You want me to learn to speak Mandarin? You want me to go to Africa and hang out with Al Shabaab and get those fancy tattoos and that Muslims do? And what do you want me to do? No, I didn't think that. Some girl had that on the last girl that called me a loser on the internet. No, I'm thinking I'll do anything. You want me to go feed homeless? Where do you want me to work? I'll do anything. So that's what I'm thinking in that terms. I'm not thinking, God, if I do this, I want this, or I should get this. I'm thinking, if it's in His will, Lord, is there anything that I'm doing in my life that's not pleasing you, or that I need to modify or change in order to receive that blessing of half the kingdom? Because I've been going through life and nothing satisfies. And no, I don't care what they say. Oh, bad boy. Well, it'd just be more problems. Yeah, okay, whatever. Let me worry about those. I'll decide. Thank you. Keep that to yourself, bad boy. I'll decide about my problem. Hey, let me try. Hey, I'll need half the kingdom. I'm lonely. I don't want to be alone, right? You get the idea here, right? So I'm like, obviously, I'm never drinking again already, right? And I'm never smoking. Haven't smoked any drugs or drink forever, right? I'm thinking, and so I see the thing about the dreams and the visions, and I start praying, and I'm like, well, if God doesn't speak to me audibly, it's not like W where they said, I don't know, I haven't confirmed this, but apparently W got word from God through a dream, I guess, must be, to finish off that war his daddy started. So, I mean, we do have some people that say this kind of stuff happens. Oh, yeah, that guy that was president of the United States, remember him? I wonder if they brought the SWAT team in and that guy. So, it's a theme throughout the Old Testament, the New, right? And so I'm thinking, all right, well, they're always telling me, hey, you gotta be careful. You might have some pizza. You don't want a pizza party, but you're gonna, you might eat some funny pizza with little funny enzymes, or you didn't get them. What do they call them? Microbial, but they're them old ones. The pig hoof they use, and it give you a little funny dream, and then all of a sudden you run around like Samson, right? Thinking you're not getting a haircut, but you get 50 guys around you going, dude, I know you like her, but I mean, she don't like you. She's just trying to cut your hair, man. Hey, wake up, smell the coffee, son. No. And so you're like, well, speak to me, God. And so you're thinking, well, it's okay. So I'm a half logical guy. I'm so like, yeah, I mean, if you give me one dream, two dream, yeah, I'm gonna ignore it. But Lord, speak to me. What is there somewhere you want me to go? Is there anything you want me to do? Talk to, get on chat, internet. And I'm doing this for like a year. Now I swear, right? I saw a few episodes of Duck Dynasty. I'm gonna be honest. I probably at this point I probably had only watched uh, a handful. Enough to know that hey, they're making the beard thing look cool, and so all right, fine. The bandana, I'll tell you what, it's a real practical thing. Not only do I sweat like a pig, I'll be honest, I thought it was all right. I mean, these guys were making it look pretty cool. And so, yeah, okay, whatever. It kind of started, I guess it maybe started that way a little bit and then kind of turned it. But I wasn't obsessed. I didn't search these guys, nothing. I wasn't on their social media. I wasn't obsessing about these people. I wasn't worried about these people. I wasn't really thinking about these people at all. I just started growing my hair out and I was like, a couple people started saying, "Oh, you look like that guy from Duck Dynasty," and I'm like, "Not really. He ain't anywhere near as good looking as me. And he's a lot shorter, and his hair ain't as good. My beard is way better." And I'm thinking, "Are you sure?" And I'm like, and so I keep wearing the bandana and eventually, and I'm praying, and so I just let the hair grow, and yeah, okay, so it started to kind of. And then they kept going, "Oh, you look like one of them Duck Dynasty guys. Are you a Duck Dynasty guy?" No. And I'm like, I got a year to go. So, 'cause I shave when I'm 40, and I'm like, I got a year of this stuff, so I'm not shaving this whole time. So I kept the let going. I'm praying like mad. So I suppose there could have been some kind of subliminal. I got people telling me it look like maybe. I'm not, I watched a few of their shows. Uh, So that's all that was. Okay. Swear to God. So I started having a bunch of dreams. And I'm thinking, whoa, why? Where is this coming from? You're sober. You've been on ChristianChat.com for 20 years. You've been praying for a wife forever. You quit drink. I mean, you don't drink, smoke, or chew. Don't go with women that do. You're trying to get not look at any naked ladies. You're being a pretty good Christian. You're saying, God, I'm getting old. Can I have a wife? Can I have my wife? You're not thinking you're gonna go down duck hunting with a bandana and a beard and go down and hang out with. You're not thinking that at all. Okay? Because you don't even like duck hunting. It's cold. Remember, there's a whole bunch of guys going, shh. Every once in a while, they'll tell a story. But there's no girls around nowhere. And you're like, oh, I just want to go fishing. I listen to the radio with half the kingdom. Y'all trying to get away from your wives? I'm trying to get with my wife. That's why I'm praying. Remember that? So I'm like, I don't know those guys I watch. I'm a Christian though, and this is the only Christian programming anywhere. And I'm already watching them, and I realize that even though they're pretty much really like did nothing, maybe stole Backmouth Mama and stole a pack of gum. They're pretty good people, but they listen to regular music. You'll see that, and obviously, you already know. I'm pretty much sure that all music is of the devil. And you got the chief down there. I already know he likes to still listens to his honky tonk and rock and roll, and he don't have no problem with it. He ain't ever gonna tell you, hey, turn this around, and like the baby parts and all that. Those can, if that's that devil. If you all you got to do is play that record back, he gonna look at you like you need to get certified in the state hospital and get off my property. Look, I ain't trying to talk to that guy. We're way different. Trust me. I just happened to have a bandana and a beard all of a sudden because all right, whatever. I seen and I thought mostly because honestly I sweat like a dog and I'm growing my beard out. Seeing the beard, whatever. I'm not thinking about those guys. They're they're a lot more secular in many ways than when I'm on my best day. So I'm not obsessed with these people thinking they're my. I gotta be. I'm in the Duck Dynasty now. So I'm praying. I'm praying. I'm praying. Now, I watched Michael Jordan, right? 20 hours. It's pretty reasonable. But it's strange though, and I tried to explain this. Hey, think of all those girls. Remember all them girls? I said I was a real gentleman. We had a gentleman's agreement, and I was real respectful. Hundreds. I don't know, I've met like 10,000 people in my life. I mean, I spent a lot of time with my mom, people. I, it's not very often I dream about people. And I remember most of my dreams, right? So sure, I might have had some funny cheese or something, right? You gotta be careful. But you're getting pretty serious with God, and you're thinking, it couldn't be the alcohol or the cigarettes or the girls or the sex or the naked ladies or the dirty thoughts or it couldn't be anything real bad. Eating pretty healthy, so it's probably not the cheese, and now you're starting to have these dreams, and you're like, I don't know what's going on here. But you're like, hey boy, remember Christian Leitner? You gonna wonder the rest of your life, son? You're like, You're like, well, we better wait a while. Let's see what's happening here. Because I might dream about Michael Jordan, right? Because I watched 20 of his shows, and I'm not getting on the phone and saying, hey, I want to be like Mike. Hey, get old Mike on the horn here. And old Nicky boy need to talk to Michael Jordan. And if it, I'm gonna drive down to North Carolina and start trying to find Michael. No, I mean never, because he ain't a naked lady as far as I know. Hey, and so, but I'm starting to. So now I'm really praying. I'm thinking, hey, I mean, if God's gonna talk to me, right? I can't get in much better position to hear from God. I'm going to sleep, getting lots of sleep, good nutrition, healthy, reading that Bible, praying, asking God finally, And I'm saying, can you show me my wife? Show me what your will is. Thy will be done, Father. What do you want me to do? What direction do you want me to go? Is there any way you could maybe put that little half the kingdom in my view? Give me a little bit of a sign, or have me go somewhere where she might be where I might be able to say hi to my wife. And you say, well, it's just a lot of wishful thinking. You're getting really desperate all of a sudden. You used to be the CEO of Cool. You know, used to have an MBA in fun. And so you're like, and you're already like, I mean, these are some, like, we know you're part redneck, Nick, but you're a Yankee from the North, and these people are like, they're just some people on TV. They're secular, and they're not like this. As far as you can tell, they listen to regular music. They're not like this strict, rigid, and they are like for real redneck from the South. And come to find out later, I mean, what's his name was supposed to be Terry Bradshaw, and I'm like, look, the last guy you probably want to make mad, I'm just guessing somewhere down in that area, would probably be Phil Robertson. Just taking a wild guess. Yeah, like you probably don't want to get on his crap list. I'm just a wild guess. And so I did. So I like, I don't know if it was because people started saying I look like them. So okay, I'll be honest. So like I excuse me. So maybe I started watching a couple episodes, and so that's where I got some of the things I said. CEO of Fun. I heard what's his name say that. He lives in Austin or something now with what's her name. And they adopted a black kid. It's funny. Remember the one where Kay she comes to drop what's the kid off, and Kay's like, we're kind of busy. We're like, we don't. Anyway, so I'm thinking, all right. So I did once they started. Like I said, I mean, I know they're like, these guys, most of those guys, except for what's his name, Alan. Alan got into some drinking in what's it, Baton Rouge, or down there for a while, and but then what is it, Jace and what's his name, Willie? Like they didn't do nothing, from what I understand, right? Because they're brothers. Their mom got them straightened out, and then the dad came back or something, and by then, so they were pretty straight laced, right? All they were doing is sneaking in the judge's honey hole fishing or something. That was like the worst thing they did as a kid or something. And so these are pretty good people, but they So, but they listen to regular music and they don't take the Bible all super duper crazy seriously like I do. So I'm not like obsessing and I think about like, and so I watched maybe one or thing or their find out their church. So I see like Phil talking about how he's got the nurse guy out there because people are showing up at their property, so they got to put up a fence. And like people are saying, "Oh God," and I'm like, I looked at it a little bit, right? That's all I know about Duck Dynasty, right? So, anyways, back to my story. Christian Leitner. So I'm praying, right? And and I'm thinking, you know, and I'm really tired because I didn't get any sleep now, and I don't know. I guess I'm worried. I don't know if they're gonna like not let me talk anymore or tell me finish my story. And if you only have part of it, you're going, this guy's a weirdo. Not for liking naked ladies, but because of what it looks like on paper. And so you're like, wow. So I'm still praying for my wife. So uh, let's put it like this. Uh, I start having a dream. Oh, I mean, like a lot. And not only do I ask God to stop them, to clarify them, because uh, I'm the CEO of Fun and the executive. I'm not the president, but I'm a client of Cool, and I never want no trouble. Never did. Never really, except for until I come here. And a couple of times they lied about me, but maybe was having a few beers, and I suppose I deserve some of it. But I still can't stand when they lie about just because they catch you doing something or they didn't catch you doing something. So then they say, well, he probably deserved it last time, and we think he's kind of a jerk and he's kind of a weasel, so he got out of. We're gonna get him this time, right? That's what it feels like sometimes, and yeah, it makes you want to swear sometimes. 'Cause you don't deserve it, and they lie about you because they sometimes I don't know if it's because they got bacon juice squirting out their ears or if they're just the devil. Doesn't really matter, but how do you stay out of trouble? Well, you don't call up Michael Jordan, right? Just because you had 20 hours of you don't go barking up Michael Jordan's tree. I mean, like, it's the internet. Like, if Michael Jordan really wanted to, he could probably get a hold of you if he thought he needed to talk to you, right? You don't got to go looking for Michael Jordan. If you talk to Michael Jordan on Christian Chat or something, he wanted to help, no, wanted to, go shoot free throws with you, he'd probably tell you. He wouldn't like go all cloak and dagger on you and be like, well, I don't know if you're really my friend, and I'm not gonna identify myself as my, but maybe I'll pray to God about it, and you think about it. Well, I don't know. Somehow, if happen to be down in North Carolina, Chapel Hill or something, maybe I'll decide to run. We're not gonna let an algorithm decide it. Maybe I'll get up and go to the produce section of the organic market. Maybe I'll run into you, and if you happen to be there, well, maybe we'll go play some basketball. You get the idea, right? And so you're like, hmm. So you're like, well, come on, man. Like, but you're like, hey, you're 40 some years old, man. Like, you're running out of girls that think you're cute anymore. Like, not really that many did, because they was always, ooh, they wanted Bubba in like third grade. Like, Vikings cheerleaders wanted to sleep in Bubba's bed when he was in like 6th grade. Oh, I love you. And I'm going, yeah, that never happened to me. And like, it's like, I'm like, nobody wants to talk to me. No girls are even going to talk to me ever again. And I'm thinking, hmm, are you like, God, are you sure you're talking to me? Because I know it's all over the Bible. But I don't want to be a weirdo. And I know I'm not that important. Michael Jordan does not want to talk to me. It's just because you watched a few of his the greatest you watched the diary, man. And then you got these people telling you, you got a pretty nice shot, like Jordan. And you're like, not really. You're like, yeah, me and Scotty we're the only ones that got up at 4 in the morning every day. So you probably shouldn't bring the SWAT team on me, but maybe one of those other guys that was lazy, sitting around smoking pot, eating Cheetos in Mama's basement. Instead, I was getting up on 3 hours of sleep every single day trying to do something with my life. I never did get the height that Scotty got. I never had even chance, but I tried, and I had to put up with Detterman. And you want to bring in a SWAT team on me? I'm a client. I'm not the president, but why are you doing this to me? If you think I'm going to try to talk to Michael Jordan, you're insane. God. No, I'm not doing it. And I'm like, no. And so I start praying to God. I'm like, God, look, you cannot get any closer unless you're like Mother Teresa or a nun. I'm thinking you really can't at this point because I'm not even thinking of naked ladies or salad. And I'm thinking, you can't get much closer to God than me. And so you can't, because you probably can't hear from God. If anybody's going to hear from God, and a lot of people probably do, probably millions, I'm probably one of them now. And if any of us in the entire world can hear from God, I'm probably in that pool. I'm satisfied. I'm thinking I've done enough, even though it's not about works. But faith without works is dead. The Bible. I'm thinking I have. Don't drink, smoke, or chew. Remember, I'm nice to everybody. Don't swear. Don't waste time on chat. Don't debate people. Don't get in arguments. I'm respectful to my parents. I'm working and I'm doing what I'm supposed to do. I'm not arguing, even though I'm right. I want to be married, so I don't care. I'll just do what you want me to do. I don't want a butter knife. You know the story. Do we got to keep going? You can't, like, I'm asking God, and now I'm saying, hey, please, we take these dreams away, and they just keep going, keep coming. I can't get rid of them. And I've noticed for me, like, hey, if you're ever thinking it works for me. It's kind of like they'll always say, like, I don't like to take Ambien because you hear them stories about people going walking, sleepwalking, end up over at the night. Well, I told that story, didn't I? Did that? No, that's a great story. A great story to show you I'm not a rapist, murderer, Jeffrey Dahmer, because if I was, I probably would have done it then. I'll tell that story. And so, like, instead of taking Ambien, I guarantee it, the worth of hey, you don't need any sleeping medication. If I wanted to go, hey, I get that Bible out and start reading it, that devil will put you right to sleep. That's the best. Yeah, ha, ha. Yeah, do that. And then the other thing is what you're saying. Like if you're thinking about naked ladies, for me, like I just start thinking about a couple gay guys, and I forget all about not like that, but then I forget about the naked ladies, not like I like them, but just picture two guys, and you'll forget all about the naked ladies. Next thing you know, you're reading your Bible, and you go, it works. Trust me. It's the only thing I could find to stop thinking about naked ladies. It'll ruin the moment real fast. Um, Obviously not if you like gay guys, but hey, if you're a heterosexual, that's about the only thing I found that will get you. That'll clear up the naked lady real quick. And so I'm saying, God, you got to get rid of these, but I don't know how to get rid of them. Will you please take these dreams away? Because Michael Jordan don't want to talk to me. I'm nobody. You might have talked to Michael Jordan and not known it. He might be your sacred friend. I don't know. He might be your buddy. He might be. You might have been talking to Michael Jordan all along. I don't know. Never know. Who knows? May never know. Doesn't matter. And so you're like, hey, huh? And you're like, come on, Lord. But you're like, hey, remember what happened with Christian Leitner? And then you're like, dude, are you gonna like wonder the rest of your life? You're like, is there any way like maybe I could go drive around Chapel Hill or something, maybe see if Jordan's just like hanging out down there shooting free throws or something, maybe. Just to say hi. What you doing? What's up, MJ? No, I didn't think that. But anyways, this is kind of like an analogy, right? And so you're like, finally, you're like, I can't get rid of it. It's not the pizza. It's not the naked ladies or the salad. Something going on. And so you got a pretty good idea that God's doing. He's saying something. Now, what it exactly? Hey, I'm no Joseph. I didn't interpret Pharaoh's dreams, and I don't think I'm qualified. But remember that coat of many colors. The brothers put him in a pit and for dead, and they come along and sold him as a slave. And all of a sudden, some guy said, "Hey, that guy know how he having drink. Hey, Pharaoh. Hey, oh, now you're the governor of Egypt, by the way, and I'm gonna reconcile your brothers and." You're such a good person, you're gonna be crying like a little baby in the fetal position when they come and all that stuff. So you're like, well, I mean, this the kind of thing has happened quite a bit, and you're like, well, maybe I ought to take a hike or take a drive or something, or maybe go look in the produce section, or take another look in the produce section, or the laundromat, see if we'll have the kingdom up there somewhere. Maybe I missed her. I just didn't. I wasn't looking hard enough or something, right? Because you don't want to wonder forever. You don't want to. You don't want that feeling like you felt like there was no reason why, except you're a innocent, silly little guy that's scared to get up and shoot a couple free throws on a NBA court. I mean, big deal. Nothing to it. Piece of cake. Easy peasy. No, I mean, why? Other than the fact that you're just. Remember my mom? See, you know where I get that? Remember this? Did you did you just say Jesus out loud, honey? Do you know there's people sitting around us? If you say that again, I'm getting up and leaving you here. Yeah, so look, I think I get a little embarrassed sometimes. But I was not gonna not get up on the car, right? So I'm like, all right, I'll check it out. So I might have taken a drive. Might have wrote a letter. Uh, what I didn't do is jump out with a 6 second window, approach anybody, get down on one knee, and ask them to marry me, and they said yes. And then I picked them up and carried them in the building. And because this person is a nun and Mother Teresa, she's she's like, well, I mean, I'm kind of busy, and I got like 10,000 of you saying the same thing. And I'm like, yeah, I read that thing about the dreams and all that. And oh, by the way, God talks to me too. Did you guess that, right? Yeah, huh, huh. And so you're gonna have to do a little better than that, buddy. And so, hey, I know what you're supposed to do. Do you know what you're supposed to do? And I'm like, yeah, but I don't want to go to jail. And I don't want a 600-pound black guy to jump on me either. And I'm like, yeah, man, I'm up on, hey, we're getting in the paint now. And I'm like, this don't seem like a good idea. Hey, Christian Leitner, uh, I think, hey, I'm out here at the 3 point line. Hey, I know you just asked me to do a layup, but there's some really big dudes in there, and I don't think they like me, and they think I'm nuts. And there's like 50 other guys that just did the same thing, and they like jumped all over them because there were like 10,000 or something, and you're like, I don't know what I'm doing here, anyways. And you're like, yeah. You're like, imposter? Oh, goodness. Pretty much Christian Leitner. You're like, well, why don't you like get out and like come get ask the person to marry you? And then like she says yes because you got out at the right time because she heard from God. You're like, You're like, it's the only way she's gonna do it because and then she's gonna say yes and you live happy ever after. 1 acre power, why you going fishing, boy? You're like, no, because everybody's gonna think that's crazy. Well, no, because I'm a nun and I got like 50,000 of these happening every day, and so this is what God told me is what the next one's gonna do. So you know how they ran around the buildings and then 7 times before they, remember the Israelites, or they knocked the walls down. And what do you mean, God? All we gotta do is just run around the building. Don't worry, I'll knock the. Okay, no, fine. Oh, so the guy's gonna do that, and because I got 50,000 of them. I'm really busy. I only got a couple. I got like 1 minute, so you're gonna have to get this right real quick, or I got to go, and you gotta go because I got bills to pay. Don't you remember? Hey, ha, and I'm like, I'm out here at this 3 point line. I mean, I got up there and I'm like, I'm like, what am I doing here? There's really big. There's like a really big. There's like a 600-pound black guy about ready to body slam you if you get anywhere near there. Unless she says, hey, that's my half the kingdom back off, right? And you're like, You're like, yeah, I don't know. You're like, what's this? Just something about this. And you're like, I think I'll just go over there and do the same thing the last 50, 100 guys did. And See you later, Christian Laettner. Yeah, that was nice. Thanks for playing. See ya. Man, we got a lot of imposters around here. How would we ever know? I mean, we're real busy. We got a bunch of nuns running around here. We got bills to pay, boy. I mean, come on. You're wasting our time now, son. See ya. Have fun. But yeah, maybe we'll get you a pizza party. I don't know, dude, but all I know is, okay, yeah, I might have wrote a letter somewhere to somebody, and then might have gave him like, might have gave a gift or something. That's all I did. I don't know how they got back. But when you're 40 something and you've been praying for your wife and you don't know what else you can do to get closer to God, and you've had 20, 50 dreams, and you beg God to get rid of them because it ain't logical, it's not reasonable, it's not rational, and there's no way, and you're gonna end up in hot water unless she says, "Hey, that's my half the kingdom back off. Remember that?" Yeah. And you're like, huh, huh. You're like, but you didn't do it right anyways. And you're like, oh, snap. So it's like you tried, but you didn't even do it the way you're supposed to. So you're still never gonna know. But at least you got up to the 3-point line. You didn't like skip yellow belly totally and like be like, well, I'm scared, Christian. Thanks, buddy. I know you're my pal and nobody gonna. Yeah. But then there's that whole beat up mini, like I said, like I'd like to the whole beat up minivan, and you're like, wow, if I was that way, I'd drive a beat up minivan too, cause for fun. And I like, I don't want to live in a beat up minivan down by the river, but I don't mind it. But I wouldn't recommend following any beat up minivans out into a cornfield or nothing like that, where we get sick of the imposters and like the guy we only got so much room to like store stuff, so that's nice. Would you want any of this? No. Okay. Hey, Dusty, you better be out of Dodge by dawn, son. Yeah, 'cause I ain't your goat, but hey, there might be one in the wall, I don't know. Noises, like I can't be sure, right? Tell it cool. If it ain't the fridge, I don't know what it is. Doesn't matter because I ain't doing nothing wrong, but it seemed to me even when I do something wrong, all you got to do is a little bit, and they get all, what are you doing here in Chapel Hill, boy? I'm like, hey, I want to go to the chapel and I want to get married. And I want to go, I'm like, no, no, I just want to shoot some free throws. I should have did a layup. Should have tried. I mean, and I'm like, whatever, man. Later. I ain't cut out for that anyway. So I'm like, don't like duck hunting. This won't have to kingdom, but it doesn't make sense anyway. Like, how could that possibly be? And you're like, so I don't know, man. So I let that one go. Well, pretty much. Eventually. Um, certainly never got back up on the. Certainly never got back up on the court. Maybe I watched. Maybe I watched a couple more Michael Jordan. I watched the last couple. There was like 12 or 13 of them, man. Took me like 20 hours to watch that. What was it called? The Last Dance. All those 20 hours, there was the only thing really I took away from it was, and that's kind of why I say, hey, you say what? You're doing all this dreaming, boy. Hope. That's where I get that from. That's why Michael Jordan, he said, even when I got cut from the basketball team, Dad was like, hey, yeah, maybe I ought to go be a mechanic. Boy, I got 7 boys here. We ain't got time for this. You know, we're black people in America yet. And this is just where we're at, you know. And it ain't 20 years from now when we're going to have the numbers. We're going to start burning stuff down, but we ain't there yet. So you got to think about getting a job. You ain't a basketball player. And Mama's like, honey, just keep working. I believe in you. I think you can do it. I think you got the skill. And so what you do is you use this as a springboard. You work that much harder this summer. I'll take care of Daddy. You keep working hard and you get him next year. And old OMJ is like, yes, Mama. And what the rest, like they say, is history. And he'll tell you is that what it was hope. He said, I had hope that if I did that, I had a chance. But if I lost that hope, anybody loses hope, it's over. You're an imposter. Thanks for trying. See you later. No half the kingdom ever. Nowhere. Not from them, anybody. Move on, boy. And that's what I did. But I've always kept hope alive. I kept hope alive thinking, all right, it wasn't her. And you tried. At least you would know if it was God, because I'm a firm believer, like, if it's God, and like, I don't think if you're doing the next right thing and you're praying for half the kingdom and it's God's will, and you're not thinking about salad and other naked ladies, and God's gonna get it done, right? You're not gonna be just like nobody, that goat in that wall. If they put a baby goat in my wall, there's no baby goat. I don't know. It sounds like I'm from the farm. It sounds like a chicken, something kicking the. It do. It kind of sound like somebody's kicking a wall, but it's the middle of the weird. Like, is there some kind of because there's nothing there. If it ain't the fridge, there's nothing in those walls. It's nothing. It ain't supposed to be. Where's this noise coming from all of a sudden? So my sister dresses me up as a girl. They tried to make me Jacob Borderling. My Tom leaves, right? And now you wonder why I get a little goofy with funny noises after they bring in the SWAT team a couple times? Yeah, all right. So cut me a little break here. I'm just trying to get married and go fishing. And so all right. I tried to follow through on maybe something I thought God was showing me, and I figured, hey, I went far enough. I mean, we don't have to get too cloak and dagger where, it's the internet and all. I mean, hey, you're here. If she wanted to talk to you, she'll probably let you know. But then you're like, well, wait a minute. There's like 100,000 guys that are trying to like do the same thing. And, so you kind of got to figure out maybe, and so you're not sure, but you're like, well, I ain't going to jail. I'm not going to do anything real stupid. Because they're already sending in the SWAT team for no reason. Imagine if I actually did something, I don't know, they might shoot me, right? And you're like, yeah, ha, no, I ain't doing that. So you're thinking, if it's God's will, you be all right. Hey, she'll get a hold of you. She know where you at, you be all right. You're thinking, probably not. Because she's thinking, imposter. Next. Right? And so you're like, you're frustrated, but you got no choice now. You got to move on. You got to let it go. So that's what you do. So time goes by. You didn't do anything real bad. So maybe it might have tried to say hi on Twitter or something a couple times, and like the manager said, please stop, and you did. And you're like, okay, like that. Where to drink? Who knows what? I don't know why would you do that to a guy that doesn't drink, smoke, or chew? Quit thinking about naked ladies getting old, trying to pray for his wife. Just wants to live a little. Doesn't want to go duck hunting. Just wants to go fishing with half the kingdom. Well, God, why would you do anything that would cause any problems? Or put in a, why would you allow? Well, son, I allow Jeffrey Dahmer. I allow starving people in Africa. What are you so special about, boy? Yeah, I hear you, God. But I don't. Well, I don't want to go barking up trees or get in trouble. I want to serve you and do your will. And I don't know, but you let it go, right? And you're like, well, 3 hours. I'm gonna stop this. I'll be back.